We're live and we're on time. We did it. No intro tonight, guys. We're saving the intro for when Aura comes on. As you all know, tonight is the presidential debate starting at 9 o'clock. We're going to have a couple of fun little games once Steve comes on. Let's see. Oh, people are already leaving comments. I anticipate this more than... Just as sad. I'm sorry. Aura's going to be on later tonight. He still works tonight. We're going to be, Steve's going to be hopping on. Normally we start the streams much later into the evening, but obviously this is a very special event. One thing I don't get though, why are they doing the debates like 5 weeks out before the election, right? Like people are already talking about like sending in their ballots and stuff. This all seems a little pointless because I saw someone on Twitter and they're like, well, do you want entertainment or you want to see them get down to the issues? And I was like, I want entertainment. I don't think anything's going to come of this debate. I don't think anyone's mind's going to be changed. But as you can see, I try to be as fair and bipartisan as I can. So I call this the debate between Dementia and Demented. And you can figure out which one's which. What's up, man?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? We're live, so don't do anything inappropriate.
No, I know. You scared me because I had the thing popped up here because I don't have everything set up because I'm not responsible. And
well, we can agree to that.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I was like, oh shit, I didn't send the link out yet. I have a big announcement for when Aura comes on. Okay, Vic, he's going to be on later tonight, so you're going to have to sit through the whole thing. We're looking forward to it. You mean we have to listen to just you for like an hour? Well, no, Steve, say something so they don't have to just listen to me.
I know. I'm here. I'm not late. I'm only late.
I have a red hoodie also. When Aura comes on, I'll put on my hoodie.
Okay.
Jasmine is joining us tonight. A little bit later on. Yeah, a little bit later on. She promised to make hot dogs for the stream. Anyways, Steve, we have a drinking game for the debate tonight, and I'll wait for more people to come on before we like define all the roles. But very simple. And we'll add some more terms onto here, depending on what the chat wants. But so far, I have, if Trump says China, we have to take a drink. And if Biden says, come on, man, we have to take a drink as well. Very easy.
We got some alcohol for this. I have like Monster. I mean,
well,
I might
you
have
don't have
like,
any alcohol at all?
I have like a Bloody Caesar from 4 years ago.
Do it. Grab that shit. No better time than now.
It's like, I don't know if it's still good. There's like shrimp in there or some shit, isn't there? Or maybe I don't know.
Buddy, caution to the fucking wind, man.
Okay, let me go see it. Let me go get it.
Okay. Chat, in the meantime, if you want us to add any terms onto this list, you let us know. People playing that game are about to die. Well, it could be better. I didn't put, if Trump says huge, you have to take a drink, because you know that guy never shuts up about things being huge. I was going to put if Biden stutters, but I was like, I'm going to give everybody alcohol poisoning who's watching. So that's probably not a good idea. Spin, I see your comment. Let me actually check because we got some time before the stream starts. I got off work just a little bit ago. I ran right home. Let's see here. I'll check and see if the video allows me to actually publish it now. I do apologize for not being a little bit more responsive on this one. So view options should be in the YouTube studios. Okay, I can trim out the segment now.
What are you up to? I don't know if I can drink this.
Wait, what?
I don't know if I can drink this. Hold on.
Okay. The first copyright claim, it allowed me to trim out the segment, but now that the trimming's being done, I have to wait to do the other one. So probably, I'm so sorry, but it's probably going to be tomorrow. But the first part that they wanted me to cut out is done, but now it's like reprocessing the entire stream. That's okay. It's my fault. This is my fault.
Digimon didn't get hit, right?
Digimon didn't get hit. Now, we do have something very special before the stream starts, and you guys are going to fucking hate me, but I don't care because I have to do it. Tuesdays are our story time, and we have some time before the stream starts. I already have, actually, let me pull up the Fox News tab. No, we're still going through the Harry Potter one.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down.
Okay. So
I didn't
this
press
is
the button.
So this is ready to go. Right. As soon as they start, we'll jump right into it. Guys, if you can do me a favor, please tweet out the stream, share it with whoever you want to share it with. Try to trigger them a little bit by saying some really provocative things, because that's always the best way of getting people to hate watch. And hate watchers are, I mean, they're just as good as any other watcher. Steve, you okay?
Yeah. I'm trying to retweet the stream. I'm not. You can't give me the link 4 minutes ahead. I'm all messed up now. I don't have notifications turned off. I just saw Aura's face down there in the thumbnail.
I felt so terrible. I really did. Okay, so we're on chapter. I think we're on chapter 9. Let me see here. This is the My Immortal Harry Potter fanfic. Here we go.
I'm excited. I like this. It's my favorite thing now. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So let's see here. All right. So we're at chapter 9 last we left off. Let's try to make that a little bit bigger for everybody. Okay. Chapter 9. Okay, so this is author's note. Stop flaming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is from the movie, okay? So it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Did Dumbledore swear in the fucking movies? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Fucking...
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
It's been so long since I've watched one of those fucking films. But I'm pretty sure Dumbledore never swore in them.
Yeah, I can't picture him swearing. I mean, did he die? Like, did he swear when he died?
Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me just answer these comments. No, he never fucking swore in the films. This is bullshit. Guys, the debate starts at 9 o'clock. Okay, so we have 23 minutes to go. All right, just heads up there. I'll go over the drinking game rules 5 minutes before the stream. We're just going to read this for a little bit while we're waiting. But let me just answer some of these chats. Hey guys, what's up? We have a drinking game tonight, and we're doing story time right now. I'm Joe Biden, and I forgot this message. Maybe that's Joe Biden. That seems correct.
Yeah, that sounds like something you'd say.
I was sad to learn Fox News doesn't actually cover news about foxes.
Did how do you spell Dumbledore?
Picks.
Am I not?
Just spell it out and try it. Where's Aura going? He's going to be taking a step back, focus on not YouTube stuff, real life stuff. But he'll be on tonight. He'll go over everything with us. Don't worry, buddy. And he'll still be involved in the channel. It's just he can't make the streams the 4 nights a week. It's very difficult for him. So he'll still be like supporting us in the background and everything. He'll still pop on every now and then, but a little bit less involved. He's still part of the team, though. And if Trump lets Biden speak for 90 minutes, Biden will forget everything. I don't know, I don't know if you guys heard this, but apparently Biden refused to let them check his ear before the debate. And I'm like, and Trump's sitting there saying, you can check my ear. I'm like, boy, this is going to be a shit show, I guarantee you. Anyways, we're already in another shit show. Bazoods, I said he had a headache. And the reason Snap doesn't like Harry now is because he's Christian and Vampire is a Satanist. Goddamn. And MCR rocks. All right.
I hate MCR.
Well, our author loves MCR. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Goddamn. Then all of a sudden, an horrible man with red eyes and no nose, and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose. Basically Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't Gothic. It was Voldemort. The fuck would you say it's basically like Voldemort in the movie and then give us a fucking piece of shit, dude?
I was gonna say, what the fuck?
Right? So they basically look like Voldemort, and his name is Voldemort!
You would have never guessed it's fucking Voldemort. Almost the same guy.
I fucking love this. This is so entertaining. All right. No! I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, Imperious! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks! I shouted at him. But why? Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. Why? You didn't do anything. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Why? He's the bad guy. Makes no sense. Ebony! He yelled.
You can't end the story
that
here,
must
bro.
kill Vampire Potter.
Vampire. Oh yeah, I forgot his name's Vampire in this rendition.
Yes, because he's
Man,
he's
I missed
a
this story.
Not because he's a vampire, but because he likes to drink human blood.
Yeah, so they just call him that.
Yeah. Snape is a Christian, apparently. Apparently. No, Snap is a Christian. Snap is the Christian alternative to Snape. Okay, hold on.
Oh,
I thought about Vampire and his sexy eyes and his gothic black hair and how his face looks just like Joel Madden.
Yep.
Okay. I remember that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. Why? You have magic, you dumb bitch, and you're a vampire. Why do you need a gun? No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Goddamn. Voldemort got a dude, you're so retarded look on his face. I have telekinesis, he answered cruelly. And if you doth not kill Vampire, then now, why are you talking this way?
Why did I like Shakespeare?
I know, right? Like, I didn't realize that fucking Voldemort was so Shakespearean.
Yeah. I thought he was just like a normal guy, but like without a fucking nose, right?
You thought Voldemort was a normal guy?
Well, you know, like as normal as they get, I guess.
He split his soul into 7 beings, and he's basically a snake.
Well, I only saw
That's immortal.
One. I only saw the first one where like
he's not even in the first one.
He's in the first one.
He doesn't show up in the first one at all. He just gets mentioned.
Guy's head.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, he was. How is that fucking normal? Fuck you, dude.
And like in Harry Potter world, it's pretty normal. Like,
you know what? I think our author is more consistent with the Harry Potter lore than you are, sir.
Oh, well, clearly.
Okay. So, then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. Why? Whatever. I was so scared and mad I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi! Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy. I don't give a shit.
Why is he wearing foundation? Because he looks just like Joel Madden. Or Ben.
He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram. Get it? Between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he said. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I expelled. That's okay, he said all depressed, and we went back to Hogwarts together making out. Oh, hold on. Is it starting? Okay, it hasn't started just yet. We got like 50 minutes. Maybe we get through one more chapter.
I'm getting
chapter
a picture
10.
of Joel Madden, so you know what he looks like.
Can you also pull up Gerard Way? Because I need to see that too.
Yep, that's the MJR guy.
All right. Author's note. Stop it, you. I can't say either of those things. If you do not like my story, then fuck off. I love this story. It's entertaining. P.S. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle. And she and Vampire are evil. That's why they moved houses. Okay, what? I didn't understand any of that. I was really scared about Voldemort. Sorry, Voldemort. I was very scared about Voldemort. I was even upset. Went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I am the lead singer of it, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and Mike. Why? What the fuck would that sound like? Torture? The other people in the band.
What
sorry,
the fuck?
Sorry, dude. Okay. Okay.
I can't.
The other people. Just so you guys are aware, Bloody Mary is Hermione Granger. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron. Although we call him Diabolo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it, and Hargrid. Only today, Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming. We wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably God damn it. Probably slitting his wrist. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too. And the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Why? Cross? You did write it though, you dumb bitch. Or a stake. And vampire was probably one. They put hyphens between it, yeah.
Okay, you got some pictures in the DMs for you.
Okay, I'll pull them up. I'm checking. They're almost about to begin the debate. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black. Was he watching it or not? You fucking I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and a tiny matching mini skirt that said "Simple Plan" on the butt. Why? Why do that? Why tell us that? You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. You are definitely a slut. You already had sex with one of the characters and fantasized about having sex with another one of the characters. Kind of slutty. And if a dude was doing it, I call him a man whore. We were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. I thought she was evil. Why the fuck does she care about you? What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. I would slap you. And then I said, well, Voldemort came, and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry. He's called Vampire, you dumb. Whatever. But yeah, I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. How? How did he do that?
Because he's skilled.
Did he like jump through the wall, or is like whatever? Okay. I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. Sorry. Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you? You fucking poser muggle bitch. See, is that out of character? I mean, kind of, yeah, this whole thing. I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry wisely. Wait, what? See, that's basically not swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you will see. Ebony Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide. What? Draco killed himself.
Oh no.
Well, how? He was just here. He just reading, he did. How did he kill it?
Is it your reaction or are you reading?
No. I'm being serious. Okay,
you're this invested in this crazy person's story.
I am. He was right here. Okay. Let's see. Right. So this is chapter 10. This is chapter 10. They just sang a song together. Okay. She says some stuff about Draco. Draco hears it from behind the wall. She starts to cry. And then all of a sudden, in an hour, right? In an hour, Dumbledore walks in angrily and says that Draco just committed suicide. And the worst part is, Dumbledore apparently blames her for the suicide. That's some heavy shit. It's also completely unrealistic and unbelievable. Anyways, guys, that's he ran away crying. All right, guys. I do want to get on to another chapter, but the debate starts in 11 minutes, so Unfortunately,
We
we're
can get
going
through
to
a
have
chapter in 11 minutes.
I could, but I want to go over. I just want to switch over. Okay, we'll let the old men talk. Share. There we go.
33 years. These debates have now become.
Oh, who's this?
Part of our political process.
Oh, this is all a pre-debate shit. It don't matter. I'm taking this off the screen until they do something relevant. At Crow, Draco ran out crying. You highlight it. And no, I know he did, but then like an hour later he commits suicide?
He was right here. He was right with us, guys.
He was like literally right there. That's so god damn. That hit that deep emotional punch I was looking for. I need to read your guys' comments. I'm so sorry. Crookshanks was Hermione's cat. Well, apparently yelling Crookshanks out Voldemort caused him to fall off his broom. Snap sounds like a closet gay man. Damn. Why does Voldemort sound like Smeagol? Because he does.
And he's swearing.
Because he gets knocked off a fucking broom by hearing a cat's name. That is not what telekinesis does. No, you're right. That's what telepathy? I think it's telepathy. My mind is totally off the sci-fi right now. Steve is right. Who wrote this?
I'm always right.
A woman who was ahead of her time. Harry Potter instead of politics. All right. I want to entertain. Like Tuesdays is story time. We will be reading My Immortal, and then I'll find something else that's just as cringe to read after we finish it. But there are 40 chapters of this shit to go through. Just walking and snogging. Brah, I'm so pumped. I'm laughing at the awful grammar of this. It's very hard to fucking read. It's very hard. The author notes are the worst. You see why I figured this has to be trolling. Aw, Steve.
I fucked that up. That's just me. What? That's just me pressing enter.
No, it's cute.
Yeah,
you love. Hearty face. Hearts. I'm done. I'm done fucking around. Magic. He has telekinesis. Oh, there you go. More heart faces. There you go.
And the ledge. Yeah, there you
go. At Crow, we did that. Who will win the debate? I think Trump will, but I think the expectation for Biden is like so fucking dramatically low that he just has to completely not piss himself on stage, and people will say that he did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Baby, we're streaming. What's up?
I hear you talking shit.
I'm not. I'm reading comments.
What? Do you think Trump's good?
I said everybody. I told everybody you're joining us tonight.
What time is it?
It's 8:53. Yeah, and we still gotta eat the hot dogs.
I just have to heat them up.
Yeah, the chili's on the stove on really low, and then I put the rest of the shredded cheese in the fridge. Anyways, yeah, you should see the look she's giving me. Oh no, she's coming inside the room. No!
Shut up.
She took my water.
But don't pan me though. Ah!
Okay.
Don't do it.
All right, I'm not going to. We all heard.
Does everybody like your display?
Huh? Oh yeah. Jasmine wants to know if everybody likes the display in the back now. Steve, what do you think?
I think I can't see very well at all.
Oh shit! Hold on. There you go. How's that?
Yeah, okay.
I need to get more stuff done, but yep.
And the TV. Yeah, oh, that's nice.
And well, you don't know who Shenron is, whatever.
You look rich now.
Yeah, they like it. Well, Steve likes it. I'll let you know what the other comments say. She actually got me the display thing. To quote Daniel Bryan, yes, yes, yes. Yee, looks good. All right, I'll let her know that you all liked it. Okay, so guys, the drinking game for tonight. Chat, I need your suggestions, okay? If you weren't here when I announced the rules when we started the stream, because we're starting in 5 minutes, okay? So if you have some alcohol, go get it right now. This is the drinking game, okay? If Trump says China, then you have to take a drink. If Biden says, come on, man, then you have to take a drink. If you guys want me to add anything to the list, okay? I have 2 more things that we need to add before it hits 9 o'clock. So we got like 5 minutes. Come on, brainstorm some ideas. Steve, give me some ideas.
What about the huge thing would be to alcohol poisoning. What?
Okay. Jasmine said to add fine people.
Very fine people.
Okay, well,
Fine
I'm putting
people?
that for both of them in case either of them says it.
Then you could put that in the middle of the bottom, and then it'll make it
I'm doing that right now.
a fair game. These fine people.
Very fine people, but I will take fine
Very
people
fine
as well. Huge. Everybody wants huge. Yeah, you're just gonna get fucking food, alcohol poisoning for everybody.
Food and alcohol.
Huge.
Yeah, dude, that's for the veterans. That's like if
so-
you want to go
so-
in like psycho mode.
Okay, so
Add
China and huge for Trump. We got Biden. Come on, man. And then very fine people or fine people. I need one more for Biden, guys.
Okay,
Malarkey.
Does he say malarkey?
He does. It's very weird.
I was gonna say put like every time he forgets what he's talking about down.
No,
Like,
we
probably
would fucking
gotta
die,
hear
man.
Well,
We would fucking
same
die.
with huge, right? So that's like,
Dude, no. Much worse.
You think?
Okay, that's the game. I got my. I'm ready.
What is that?
Did you bring the Corona?
Oh, okay.
No, it's in. I thought you were gonna.
I don't know why I
Don't.
thought that was like a box of wine.
Nope, it is a box of. This is very weird because the can is, as you can see, the top is here, but if you look at the can, it's upside down. There you go.
Oh, that is weird.
Not really.
I guess so you can flip it over when you're done drinking it and look at the nice art.
I mean, maybe it. I like it though. I really do. Okay. Let me add this to the stream. Okay.
Thank you, Tom and Barbara, very much.
Guys, if you want me to turn up the volume, let me know. Right now, I have it on low until they get started. But we have our list. Okay. We know what we're doing. Steve, do you know the names? Do you know the words?
As soon as this debate is over, if
Fine people. Malarkey.
Fine people, very fine people. Malarkey. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Huge. And China.
China, yeah.
Yeah. But remember, China and huge have to be said by Trump. Malarkey and come on, man, has to be said by Biden. And if either of them says very fine people, then we drink. Very easy. Very easy drinking game rules.
I don't think Trump would ever say malarkey.
Whoa. Where's the audio?
What's this guy doing?
I don't know. The audio is just like completely not working.
Try going in and out, maybe.
Maybe. No, this happened as soon as he came on stage. It just cut off. Here. Let me try one more time. That's very weird.
Let me try.
Yeah, no, there's no audio.
For anyone in the whole world?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Here, let me.
Oh, man.
I'm sure they'll fix it, but let me go to their. Yeah, well, let me go to their website.
We'll just have to like watch the sign language person and learn sign language on the fly.
No, we're not doing that. That's dumb. That was very dumb. No. That's weird. That's fucking weird as shit. Okay, Fox News debate tonight stream. Okay, they have it up on the New York Times.
What the hell?
Huh, that's weird. The New York Times stream doesn't have any audio either.
It's a them problem.
It is a them problem. It is. Might be a Fox News issue. It is. There's no audio here. I have no clue what this guy is saying at all.
Well, we don't need to listen to him anyways, as long as we can hear Trump when he gets
He's
on.
the moderator, dude.
We don't need to hear moderators.
He's telling everybody the rules for tonight.
We just got to see some old guys fight each other. I don't need to know the rules. 400,000. 400,000 people can't hear no fucking audio. That's Trump's son. See, we could just commentate on what we think they're talking about. So he's like, there's going to be a cool debate.
Let me try. If either of the candidates says anything inappropriate on stage, oh, there we go. There's the audio. Never mind.
Oh, beautiful. So we don't have to.
We heard the clapping.
Maybe the audience's mic's on, but theirs are not.
That'd be so weird. That'd be the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they socially distanced all the chairs. It's cute. They're like, there's not going to be an audience.
Wearing a mask.
I don't fucking care. My thing is like, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Like, don't force other people to do it if they don't want to. Because people are just naturally going to fight you if you force them to do something. We're watching the debate. Can't agree with one side if we can't hear the debate. They're having an audio issue because you can hear the audience when they clap. You can't hear the stage at all. Now we're waiting for the candidates to actually come onto the stage, which normally takes a while. There's the audio. The podium mic might have been unplugged. That's so weird, though. God damn it, Fox News. Everybody is tuned into this fucking stream right now, and you idiots can't get your goddamn audio issues right. You're $1 million company. How dare you lose the ability to fucking talk? What the?
See, this is it's just like real life. Yeah. He's gonna forget that he has his mic off now. Grow, turn your mic.
What?
Yeah, man. Technology. But they don't even have like a pre-show thing. They just have nothing going on. They're just gonna wait for them to come out whenever they feel like it.
Could that be on purpose for website? No, because this is the YouTube live stream that I have it turned to. So if it's not working, then like people actually who want to watch can't hear it because not everybody's going to watch the TV. But they're not doing or saying anything right now. So I think we're just waiting for them to come back. That's boring.
Yeah.
I thought right at 9 o'clock, these guys would come out with fucking swords and just start stabbing each other.
At least Trump to be like, "Where's Joe? Where's Joe?" And then every minute he doesn't show up, it's like worse. I'm here. Where's Joe?
God damn.
That'd be my political strategy. Yeah. Where's the Mormon Pact?
Where's the Mormon Pact? They should have got the Black Eyed Peas to go on for.
I mean,
I would have paid to see
or
that,
even Good Charlotte.
Fuck you, Steve. You know what? They should have had My Chemical Romance playing Helena.
Both. I don't know what that song is. I don't know any My Chemical Romance songs. I just know I don't like them.
Buddy, you don't need to lie. We know. We know you like My Chemical Romance. It's okay. It's okay.
No, he's weird. Look at him.
Wait, who? What? Oh, right, the images.
And the DMs. Yeah.
Okay. Is your audio on, you motherfucking piece of shit? Turn it on. God, I hate
What's he
this
doing?
guy's
Who is
face.
this guy? Yeah.
The moderator.
But why couldn't they get Anderson Cooper or
Anderson Cooper works for CNN. What the fuck, dude?
Good evening.
Well,
from the
Jerry
Health
Seinfeld or
Education campus of Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic. I'm Chris Wallace of Fox News, and I welcome you to the first of the 2020 presidential debates between President Donald J. Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. This debate is sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates. The commission has designed the format, 6 roughly 15-minute segments with 2-minute answers from each candidate to the first question, then open discussion for the rest of each segment. Both campaigns have agreed to these rules. For the record, I decided the topics and the questions in each topic I can assure you, none of the questions has been shared with the commission or the two candidates. This debate is being conducted under health.
Oh yeah, there's a rumor online that they leaked the questions to
which is serving
Biden.
as the health security advisor to the commission.
So I guess
for
that
all
he's just
4
addressing
debates.
it.
As a precaution, both campaigns have agreed the candidates will not shake hands at the beginning of tonight's debate.
Even if he
The
did.
audience here in the hall has
Bump
promised
elbows,
to remain
dude.
silent. No cheers, no boos or other interruptions.
Oh,
so
fuck
we,
you,
and
dude.
more
That's the best part.
importantly,
No booze.
can focus on what the candidates have to say. No noise except right now, as we welcome the Republican nominee, President Trump, and the Democratic nominee, Vice President Biden.
Do we cheer or do we boo?
Boo.
Boo. Yay, boo.
Trump's looking rough, actually. What's wrong with him?
How you doing, man?
Maybe that's just how he looks.
Anyway.
How you doing, man? Did he really say that?
Yeah, he did.
Gentlemen, a lot of people have been waiting for this night, so let's get going. Our first subject is the Supreme Court. President Trump,
boy.
you nominated Amy Coney Barrett over the weekend to succeed the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the court. You say the Constitution is clear about your obligation and the Senate's to consider a nominee to the court. Vice President Biden, you say that this is an effort by the president and Republicans to jam through an appointment and what you call an abuse of power. My first question to both of you tonight, why are you right in the argument you make and your opponent wrong? And where do you think a Justice Barrett would take the court? President Trump, in this first segment, you go first, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chris. I will tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences. We have the Senate. We have
He didn't even need to understand the
and
question.
We have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all, top academic, good in every way,
Every
In
way.
fact, some of her biggest endorsers are very liberal people from Notre Dame and other places. So I think she's going to be fantastic. We have plenty of time, even if we did it after the election itself. I have a lot of time after the election, as you know. So I think that
very liberal people.
She's going to be as good as anybody that has served on that court. We really feel
top academic.
At Notre Dame, highly respected by all, said she's the single greatest student he's ever had. He's been a professor for a long time at a great school. And we won the election, and therefore we have the right to choose her. And very few people knowingly would say otherwise. And by the way, the Democrats, they wouldn't even think about not doing it. If they had, the only difference is they'd try and do it faster. There's no way they would give it up. They had Merrick Garland, but the problem is they didn't have the election. So they were stopped.
Do you guys remember when I won the election?
In reverse also.
Yeah, no. He fucked up there. He should have said the Senate. They didn't have the Senate.
President Trump,
well, he's got the election on his mind.
Question to you,
yeah,
Vice President Biden.
But yeah, that's a slip up.
Well, first of all, thank you for.
There's going to be lots of this.
Looking forward to this, Mr. President.
Thank you, Joe.
The American
Wasting his 2
people
minutes.
have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is, and that say occurs when they vote for a United States senators and when they vote for the President of the United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already.
Did they check his ear?
Already started.
No, he refused to let them do that.
Voted. And so the thing that should happen is we should wait. We should wait and see.
I want a drug test and I want to see his ears.
Because that's the only way the American people get to express their view is by who they elect as president and who they elect as vice president. Now, what's at stake here is the president's made it clear.
He's like 6'2" or something. He's tall.
He's been running on that. He ran on that, and he's been governing.
Like average.
He's in the Supreme Court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
See, this is why we can't do stuttering, dude.
From having insurance, health insurance now, if it goes into court.
Hey, J-Man, how you doing, buddy?
The justice, and I have nothing, I'm not opposed to the justice. She seems like a very fine person. But she's written before she went on the bench, which is her right, that she thinks that the Affordable Care Act is not constitutional. The other thing that's on the court, and if it's struck down, what happens? Women's rights are fundamentally changed. Once again, A woman
God
could be
damn it.
held,
The woman who got put on the Supreme Court is going to take the rights away of the woman.
they were able to
That
charge
makes
them more
total
for the
sense.
same exact procedure a man did.
Right?
Gets. And that
That's-
ended when we, in fact, passed
Buddy,
the Affordable
buddy,
Care Act.
Buddy,
And
you
there's
are
100
how many
million
minutes
people
into
have
this shit are
pre-existing
we?
Conditions, and they'll be
10
taken
minutes
away
in,
as
he's
well.
already stammering.
Those pre-existing conditions, the insurance companies are going to love this, and so
Oh, it
it's
hasn't
just
gotten
not
that bad
appropriate
yet.
to do this.
No, it
Actually, a little
for
impressed
this
with them.
election. If he wins the election and the Senate is Democrat or Republican, then he goes forward. If not, we should wait until February. All right.
There aren't 100 million people with pre-existing conditions. As far as the say is concerned, the people already had their say. Okay, Justice Ginsburg said very powerfully, very strongly, at some point,
I like his
10 years
actions.
ago or so, she said
know?
the president and the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next
During
election.
that period of time, we have.
I love that. He just keeps talking over him.
I'm elected for 4 years.
Well, yeah.
The
And the
election's
100
already
million
started.
people, Joe, the 100 million people is totally different when you got that number. The bigger problem that you have is that you're going to extinguish 180 million people with their private health care that they're very
That's
happy
simply
with.
not true.
Well, you're certainly going to socialist. You're going to socialist medicine.
We're now into, gentlemen, we're now into open discussion.
Open discussion.
Open discussion. Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Vice President.
Number
White.
one, he knows that what I proposed. What I proposed is that we expand Obamacare and we increase it. We do not wipe any. And one of the big debates we had with 23 of my colleagues trying to win the nomination that I won, were saying that Biden wanted to allow people to have private insurance still. They can. They do. They will under my proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what
that
your party
is-
has said.
That is simply
Your party doesn't say it. Your party
is-
wants to go socialist
my
medicine
party is
and
me.
socialist
Right
healthcare.
now, I am.
And they can dominate you, Joe.
I'm the whole
I am
motherfucking
the
party, dude.
Democratic Party right
God
now.
damn.
The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of. Now, here's the deal.
My brain
The
isn't
deal
mashed
is that
potatoes.
It's
It's not going to
wipe
get
out
worse.
Pre-existing conditions. And by the way, the 200,000 people that have died on his
Yeah.
watch, how many of those have survived? Well, there's 7 million people that contracted COVID. What does it mean for them going forward if you strike down the Affordable Care Act? And
Joe, you've had
pre-existing conditions?
308,000 military people dying because you couldn't provide them proper health care in the military. So don't tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about
And if
this.
you were here,
Look,
it
here's
wouldn't
the
be
deal.
200, it would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily.
Oh, he said
You
China.
didn't want me
China.
to ban,
All right, gentlemen.
You're right. which
no,
was heavily.
Mr. President,
You would have
Mr.
been much
President,
later, Joe.
Mr.
Much
President,
later.
Mr.
You're
President,
talking about 2 million people.
You're not gonna be able
President,
to
as
shut
a
him up.
moderator, we are going to talk about COVID in the next segment, but
Well,
go ahead.
Let me finish.
Well, Biden's the one who brought up COVID,
President
though.
also is opposed to Roe v. Wade.
Yep.
That's on the ballot as well in the court. And so that's also at stake right now. And so the election is all
You don't know it's on the ballot.
I
Why is it on the ballot? Why
because
is it on the
you
ballot? It's
said
not on the ballot.
it's on the ballot in the
I don't
court.
think so.
In the court. Well,
There's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And you
just be
don't
quiet
know
for a
her view on Roe v. Wade. You
I
don't
don't
know her
know.
view.
Well, all right. Let's talk. I would.
Even the moderator.
damn.
We got a lot of time. So on healthcare, and then we'll come back to Roe v.
You know, I
Wade.
got to say this,
Mr.
right?
President, the Supreme Court will.
How many hot
hear
dogs do you want?
a case
Can I
a
get
week after
3
the
chili dogs,
election
baby?
in
That'd be
which the
great.
Trump administration, along
Oh,
with
and bring the
18
pickles.
state attorneys general, are
Sorry.
seeking to overturn
Personal
Nice.
message.
Obamacare, to end Obamacare. You have spent the last
Because they
If
want to
I-
give
if I-
good
if I-
health care.
If I may ask my question,
Okay.
over the last
Real
4
quick,
years,
right?
you have promised.
The reason
to
why I think
repeal and
Trump
replace
is going to be better
Obamacare,
off
but
here
you have
is because
never
Trump
in
is
these
used
4
to getting a
years
barrage
come
of
up with a
questions from
plan,
reporters that
a
are not friendly at all.
comprehensive plan to
Yes, I have.
replace
Biden is used to being
Obamacare.
like getting his hand held and
Well,
having them
I'll
finish
give
his
you an
sentences
individual
for him when
mandate.
he
I'll
mutters.
give you an
Excuse me.
opportunity,
I got
but
rid of the individual mandate, which was a
That is
big
not
chunk
a
of
comprehensive
That
plan.
is absolutely a big thing. That was the
I-
worst
I
part
didn't
of
ask,
Obamacare.
Sir,
Chris,
you're
that was the
debating him,
worst
not
part of
me.
Obama.
Let me ask my
Well,
question.
I'll ask Joe.
Chris, I'm gonna fucking tell you right now.
Aspect of Obamacare. I got rid of it.
I'd like
And
you
we
to,
will
Mr.
protect
my
President,
fucking
I'm the
house.
moderator of this debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer.
Go ahead.
You, in the course of these 4 years,
God
have come up with a
Did you forget I'm
comprehensive
president
plan
right now?
to replace Obamacare. And just this last Thursday, you signed a largely symbolic executive order to protect people with
Hey, Deanna, how you
pre-existing
doing?
conditions 5 days
Hey,
before
Mona,
this
how you
debate.
doing?
So my question, sir, is what is
Yo,
the
yo.
I have a
Trump
pre-existing
healthcare
condition. I
plan?
can't afford to pay anything
First
for
of
my
all, I guess
healthcare.
I'm debating you.
I'm a
not
type
him,
1
but that's
diabetic,
okay,
so
I'm not surprised.
I
Let me
understand
just
where
tell
you're
you
coming from.
something, that
100%.
There's nothing symbolic. I'm cutting drug prices. I'm going with favored nations, which no president has the courage to do because you're going against big pharma. Drug
Savage
prices
Trump.
will be coming
Yeah,
down
pretty
80
much.
and 90%. You could have done it during your 47-year period in government, but you didn't do it. Nobody's done it. So we're cutting health care. All of the things that we've done,
He has not cut
insulin. I
healthcare.
give you an example.
He's going
Insulin.
like full
It's
all
going
in.
to-
Yeah, you're
it's
100%
destroying
correct.
families, destroying people. The cost. I'm getting it for so cheap. It's like water. You want to know the truth? So cheap. Take a look at
I'm
all
getting
of the
drugs so
drugs that-
cheap.
What we're doing, prescription drug prices. We're going to allow our governors now to go to other countries to buy drugs
Okay.
because
When in
they
fact,
pay just a tiny
As
fraction.
I say,
of
this
what
is
we do.
open discussion.
No,
Let
but
me
this
ask
is
you about,
big-
let me,
this
you'll
is
be
big
happy,
stuff.
sir. You'll be happy. I'm about to pick up on one of your points to ask the vice president, which is he points out that you would like to add a public
I gotta take a
option
hit. Give me a
to
sec.
Obamacare, and
Yeah.
the
Dude,
argument that he makes,
Ah,
and the
dude, this
Republicans
is great.
make, is that that is going to end private insurance.
It is
And
not.
well, I can ask you the question. It will end,
Where the fuck is that
it
dog?
will end private insurance and create a government takeover of healthcare.
It does
Your
not.
response
It's
to that?
only for those people who are so poor they qualify for Medicaid. They can get that free in most states, except governors who want to deny people who are poor Medicaid. Anyone who qualifies for Medicare would, Medicaid would automatically
I think
be
Trump is
enrolled
oranger.
in the public option. The vast majority of the American people would still not be.
And I would like
in
pay to be the
that
moderator
option.
right now.
Number
I'd love
Joe,
this.
you
Number
agreed
two.
with Bernie
Number-
Sanders, who's
I
far
did.
left, on the manifesto,
when
we
you-
call it.
when
And that
manifest-
gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
you
I'm
saying
not
you
going
didn't
to listen
agree?
to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat.
I'm not
Bernie
gonna.
Sanders.
I'm not gonna listen to
How
the
much?
person that's
I
supposed to be
beat him a
debating,
whole hell of
guys.
a lot. I'm here.
Not so
I'm here
much.
standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left
Well,
2
I
days
tell
early.
you,
You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do is
Super
hurt.
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal.
He pulled
You
that
got very lucky, and
Pocahontas.
you're very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to
With
make
what?
sure because
With what?
here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact
Here's
is
the deal,
that
Buck.
everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agreed.
want to
Hey,
make
Joe,
sure.
you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class,
I-
not first in your
I-
class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be
you know,
surprised.
you pick
Be
the
surprised.
wrong guy. The wrong way. The whole idea.
Let him-
There is no
my God.
manifesto, number
Please let him
one.
speak, Mr.
Number two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan.
Oh my God.
Absolutely agreed.
Folks, do you
to,
have
and
any
under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized, they
doing?
call it
Mr.
You
Medicare.
have-
God
Socialized medicine.
Mr.
I'll
President,
tell you what.
Dude.
There's
love
no
it.
for any help for people needing help.
We need these two men to have very pointy sticks right now.
In fact, already has cost
For real.
10 million people their health care that they had from their employers because of his recession. Number one. Number two.
yeah.
Who's
there are 20
who's
million
recession?
getting
They're
healthcare
blaming
through
him for
Obamacare
COVID.
now that he wants to take it away. He won't ever.
Wasn't he
you're not-
like getting the economy back on track?
Yeah, it's actually been improving under his watch too.
And by the way,
Even
he
people who
doesn't
hate
know.
Trump were like, "Man, I hate Trump, but the economy's been good." Right?
Yeah, it's a weak argument for Biden. It's a very weak argument for Biden.
Might know, but probably don't.
gentlemen, you
is
realize
no
if you're
good,
both
Joe.
speaking at the
It's no
same
good,
time,
and it's too expensive.
let the president, go ahead, sir.
Obamacare is no good. We made it better. And I had a choice to make very early on. We took away the individual mandate. We guarantee pre-existing conditions, but took away the
Not
individual
true.
mandate. Listen, this is the way it is. And they shouldn't even go at Obamacare. Then I had a choice to make. Do I let my people run it really well or badly? If I run it badly, they'll probably blame him, but they'll blame me. But more importantly, I want to help people. Okay. I said, you got to run it so well.
That's what he's
And I
known for.
just had a meeting with them. They said the problem is no matter how well you run Obamacare, it's a disaster. It's too expensive.
I got you.
Premiums
I
are
got
too
it.
high, and
That's
it
what his
doesn't work.
peop- that's what
So
his people
we
say.
do want to get rid of it.
It's
Chris,
an
we
open
want to get rid of it.
I
and
understand
give
it, sir, but
something
I have
that's
to
cheaper
give
and
you roughly equal time.
Good.
Please let the vice president talk.
Good.
He has no plan for health care.
Of course we do.
Please.
He sends out wishful thinking. He has executive orders that have no power. He hasn't lowered drug costs for anybody. He's been promising a health care plan.
What about all those drugs he's getting overseas?
Almost everything else he talks about.
Yeah, I know.
He does not have a
But
plan.
healthcare is a strong argument for Democrats. It really is.
And the fact is, this man doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right,
He's
I have one final question for you.
Sure.
But it sounds like he
Vice
knows what he's
President.
talking about, so I like him better.
If Senate Republicans, we were talking originally about the Supreme Court here. If Senate Republicans go ahead and confirm Justice Barrett, there has been talk.
Yeah, like I said,
about
healthcare
ending
is a
the
winning issue
filibuster
for Democrats.
or even
It won them
packing the court,
2018.
adding to the 9 justices there. You call this a distraction by the president, but in fact, it wasn't brought up by the president. It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in the Congress. So my question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about, are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should
answer the fucking question.
Go out and vote.
For what?
Now, vote and let your senators
For
know
what?
how strongly you feel.
Basically saying, whatever my advisors tell me, go out and fucking
He
vote.
do-
He doesn't want
Your
to
senator.
I fucking love
Because-
Trump.
because the question is, the
radical
question-
left.
Will you
Who
shut
is
up,
on,
man?
listen, who is on your
Ooh.
list?
Oh,
This is
on your
so
list?
right.
Gentlemen,
Oh.
I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the court.
unpresidential.
We have
I'm
no,
not
no.
going to give a list.
We have ended this segment.
Telling
We're going to
people
move
to
on to
shut
the
up
second
is pretty
segment.
Dude, Biden would not answer the question. He would not answer the question
People
at
don't
all.
understand, Jeff.
They sure do.
47 years. You've
That
had
wasn't
enough.
even a dodge. He got so
All right.
frustrated, he told the other
The
dude to shut
second
up.
subject,
That was not a
which is
dodge. He got
COVID-19,
flustered.
It's an awfully serious subject, so
We got
try to be
clown.
serious
Shut
about it.
up.
We have had more than 7
Keep
million
tally.
cases of
That was not
coronavirus
good
in
for
the United
Biden.
States, and more than 200,000
This is
people have died. Even
It's great for us.
after we produce
Mhm.
a vaccine, experts say that it could be months or even years before we come back to anything approaching normal. My question for both of you is, based on what you have said and done so far and what you have said you would do starting in 2021, why should the American people trust you more than your opponent to deal with this public health crisis going forward? In this case, the question goes to you first, sir. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Good luck. 200,000.
That was childish for Biden.
As you said, over
Yeah.
7 million infected in the United States. We, in fact, have 5%, 4% of the world's population, 20% of the deaths.
Dude,
40,000
Biden is
people
going to get
dead
shut down hardcore right now.
In addition to that, about between 750 and 1,000 people today are dying. When he was presented with that number, he said, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is because you are who you are. That's why it is. The president has no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was. He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he knew it. He said he didn't tell us or give people a warning of it because he didn't want to.
He mentioned it in the State of the fucking Union.
No panic. He panicked. In addition to that, what did he do?
And we had travel restrictions in January.
We were insisting that the
I think you
Chinese,
should panic
the
if the
people we
fucking
had on the ground in China should be
COVID
able
Dude,
to
well,
go home
again,
and
when
determine for themselves
when the
how dangerous
travel
this
when the
was.
travel restrictions came
He
in on
did not
China,
even ask
Biden
them.
came out the very next day and
He
called
told
Trump a
us what great
xenophobe.
job she was doing. He said we owe
And-
him a
and
debt
every,
of
like,
gratitude for
Every
being so
serious health
transparent
expert, to
with
my
us.
understanding,
And what did
has
he
said
do
that the
then?
travel
He
restrictions
then
helped
did nothing.
reduce the spread and reduce our death
He
rate.
still doesn't have a plan.
Well,
I
yeah.
laid out
Sir,
back
it's
in
his 2
March.
minutes.
Trump's
exactly
gonna remember
what
that.
we should be doing. And I laid out again.
Oh, he's gonna
in
fucking
July
crush
what
him
we
here.
should be doing. We should be providing all the
Ugh.
protective gear possible.
It is like Mike Tyson boxing a baby.
In order to be able to go out and get people the help they need to keep their businesses open schools that cost a lot of money. You should get out of your bunker and get out of the sand trap and get in your golf course and go in the Oval Office and bring together the Democrats and Republicans and fund what needs to be done now to save lives.
So if
Wait,
we
wait,
would have listened to
You have 2 minutes, sir.
if we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died, not 200,000. And one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people
China.
died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India. They don't exactly give you a straight count, just so you understand. But if you look at what we've done, I closed it, and you said he's xenophobic. He's a racist.
I'm adding Russia to the list
because you didn't think I should have closed our country.
Wait a minute.
Russia?
You didn't think we
I
should
can't. I can't do a Trump accent.
because
I
you
need
thought
to.
it was
I need to learn.
It was terrible. You wouldn't have
I
closed
don't
it
have my
for another
marker.
2 months.
Here it is.
By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of your Democrat governors said President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really? Go take a look. The governors said I did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. In fact, people that
y'all know
would
it's
not
coming.
be necessarily on my side said that. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got the gowns. We got the masks. We made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators. And now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying when they get sick. Far fewer people are dying. We've done a great job. The only thing I haven't done a good job, and that's because of the fake news. No matter what you say to them, they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good press. They give me bad press because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But let me just tell you something. I don't care. I've gotten used to it. But I'll tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job.
Yeah, well,
In your blood, you could have never done that job.
he's making memes on Twitter now. He's just fucking killing it.
Well, you didn't do very well in swine flu.
He adapted.
8-1. You were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was
A
no
very-
economic recession.
Sir, you made a
There was-
point.
far
there
less
was no
lethal
recession.
disease,
You made a
by the way.
point. Let him
And there,
answer.
and there was no one, we didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy he shut down. The reason it's shut down is because, look, you folks at home, how many of you got up this morning?
Well, Biden had, you've heard his COVID plan,
Somebody
right?
died of COVID. How many of you were
No,
in
what
a
is his
situation
COVID
where you
plan?
lost your mom or dad and you couldn't even speak?
Masks will be
Leave the border
mandated
closed.
for everybody
so you
in the
could
nation,
vaccine
right?
You would have lost far
How
more.
many
Okay.
people?
Oof.
But he's not wearing a mask.
And,
You would have
and by
No,
the way,
no,
your own- his-
there's
his
more to
own-
it, but
his own
this is getting good.
CDC director says we could lose as many as another 200,000 people between now and the end of the year. And he held up. He said, if we just wear a mask, we can save half those numbers. Just a mask. And by the way, in terms of the whole notion of a vaccine, we're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all, nor do you. I know you do.
What?
Well, we trust
What?
a scientist. We trust Dr.
Johnson
Fauci.
Johnson, Pfizer.
And
Okay,
by the way,
gentlemen,
and
let me move on
Hey.
to questions about the
Every
future, because
time
you both have touched on
Biden
one of the-
talks, I
two of
can't
the
hear
questions I'm going to ask.
because you don't shut up.
Focusing on the future first, President Trump, you
Talk
have
lower
repeatedly
so I can actually
either
hear both
contradicted or been
sides.
at odds with some of your government's own top scientists. The week before last,
Love you,
the
baby.
head of the Center for Disease Control, Dr. Redfield, said it would be summer before the vaccine would become generally available to the public. You said that he was confused and mistaken. Those were your two words.
Yeah.
But Dr. Slaoui, the head of your Operation Warp Speed, has said exactly the same thing. Are they both wrong?
Well, I've spoken to the companies and we can have it a lot sooner. It's a very political thing because people like this would rather make it political than save lives. It is a very political thing. I've spoken to Pfizer. I've spoken to all of the people that you have to speak to. We have great Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and others. They can go faster than that by a lot. Become very political because the left, or I don't know if I call
So
them
you're
left, I don't know
suggesting
what I
that the
call them.
head of your Operation
I
Warp
don't
Speed
know what I call this guy.
No, I disagree with both of them. And he didn't say that. He said it could be there, but it could also be much sooner. I had him in my office 2 days ago.
He talked about the summer, sir, before it's generally available. Just like
He
Dr.
said it's a
Redfield.
possibility that we'll have the answer before November 1st. It could also be.
This isn't good for
Generally
Trump.
available, not
Well,
when
we're
it will
going to
be.
deliver it right away. We have the military all set up. Logistically, they're all set up. We have our military that delivers soldiers.
But
and they
people
can
like
do
the military.
200,000 a day. They're going to be
this is
delivering.
the same man
It's
who
all
told
set
you
up.
by Easter this would be gone away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone. Miraculous, like a miracle. And by the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. This is the
That
same
was
man.
said sarcastically.
That was
you
him.
know that.
I
That was said
And
sarcastically.
so here's the deal. This man is talking about a vaccine. Every serious company is talking about maybe having a vaccine done by the end of the year, but the distribution of that vaccine will not occur until sometime beginning or the middle of next year to get it out, if we get the vaccine. And pray God we will. May God we will.
Mr. Vice President, I want to pick up.
Well,
though,
hold on.
I want to pick up on this question, though. You say
Biden just set a time frame that's sooner than summer,
they can't
though.
trust President Trump. In fact, you said that again tonight. Your running
Didn't
mate,
summer already
Senator
pass?
Harris,
No,
saying
next
that
year.
public health
Next year.
experts,
Oh my
quote,
God.
will be
Yeah.
muzzled, will be suppressed. Given the fact that polls
No, but earlier they were.
COVID.
that
I guess I
people
want to hear
are
the question.
concerned
But
about the
earlier
vaccine
in
and
the
are reluctant to take it,
when they were
are
talking,
you
right?
and your running mate, Senator Harris,
Biden just said
contributing to
that
fear?
No more than the
they were
question
talking
you
about
asked
like
me. You
by
put it
early
out.
next year,
He
right?
puts pressure.
Well, Trump was
He
being pressured
disagrees
because
with
the head of his
his
team
own
said
scientists.
the soonest
You're
would
saying
be
everybody-
summer of
Senator
next
Harris
year.
is saying you
Biden
can't
just gave a
trust the
time frame
science.
that's actually
you
closer
can trust the
to
scientists.
the
She
end of the
did say
year
that. You
than
can trust
She
the-
said
the other
the
guy
public
did.
health experts, quote,
I-
will be muzzled, will be
yeah, it
Well,
doesn't.
That's what he's going
whatever.
to try to do. But there's millions of scientists, there's thousands of scientists out there, like here at this great hospital, that don't work for him. Their job doesn't depend on him. That's not. They're the people. And by
I
the way,
spoke to the
and Fauci,
scientists that are in
and by
charge.
the way,
They will have
and
the vaccine very
does-
soon.
let him finish.
do you believe for a moment what he's telling you in light of all the lies he's told you about the whole issue relating to COVID? He still hasn't even acknowledged that he knew this was happening, knew how dangerous it was going to be back in February, and he didn't even tell you. He's on record as saying it. He panicked or he just looked at the stock market, one of the two, because guess what? A lot of people died. And a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
So-
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years you've done this. Let me just tell you something, Joe. If you would have had
Oh
the
God,
charge,
That
what I
triggered
was-
it. I hit a nerve.
the
Is he
greatest
smart?
economy in the history of our
fucking
country.
did.
And by the way, now it's being built again.
You see,
and it's
We're gonna
going
get
up
to the
fast.
You know,
economy in the
I'm
next
just going to say
segment.
this right now. What people
going
need to
up fast.
understand
Okay,
is
but
that
When
works
it
for
comes
Trump
to how
because
the virus
people
has
hate
been
politicians,
handled
and that's
so
what they want to
far,
say to them.
The two of you
Like
have
people do
taken
not
very
like their
different
politicians.
positions.
They want to walk
In
up to them and tell them go fuck
how the
themselves.
virus
You're
is
useless. You don't
handled
do jack
going forward
shit.
by
And
whichever of you ends up becoming the
Trump
next
does
president.
it.
I wanna
It's
quickly
cathartic.
go
It might
through
not be
several
right
of those.
morally, but it is
Reopenings.
very
Vice
cathartic to
President
see.
Biden, you have been much more
It
reluctant
is right
than
morally.
President Trump about
No,
reopening the
I'm just saying I'm not even going to
economy
argue
and
that point.
schools.
I'm just saying like
Because he
it's
doesn't have a
cathartic
plan.
and it
If I were
feels
running,
good
I
to
know
hear
how-
somebody
what
say
the
that to
plan
one of
is.
these
We've got to
jackasses.
provide
I'd be fine with a
businesses the
Democrat doing
ability
it to a
have
fucking
money to be
Republican,
able to reopen
right?
PPE,
They're all fucking
as
trash.
well as with the sanitation
Yeah.
they need. You have to
Tell
provide
that to
them
Nancy
plastic.
Pelosi.
Well, he's just shush for a minute.
Tell it to
The-
Nancy Pelosi. Schumer,
By the
Brian
way,
Chuck.
Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, they have a plan. He won't even meet with them. The Republicans won't meet with him in the
Okay.
Senate.
Okay.
And he sits on his golf course. And I mean,
Nah.
literally,
Okay.
think about it.
You probably
All right,
play
think
more than
about
I
it.
do, Joe.
What about this question of reopenings? In fact,
Well, he wants to shut down this country,
Oh,
and I want to keep it open. And we
You
did
get-
a
he
great
just
thing by
admitted
shutting
he
it
shut
down.
it down.
Wait a minute,
Let
Joe.
him
Let me
finish,
shut
sir.
you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second. We want to
No,
he wants to
Nate.
shut down the country.
The reason why
Just
he
went
did that
through it.
is
We had to
because
we didn't know anything
Biden
about
said
the
that he
disease.
went
Now
to the
we
wrong
found
school.
that elderly
And
people
Biden
with
has
heart
told
problems
people,
and
like,
diabetes
in
and
several
different
videos
problems are
that he graduated
very,
at the
very
top of his
vulnerable.
class.
We learned a lot. Young children.
In reality, he went
aren't.
to a different school and he
Even
did
younger
graduate
people
at the bottom
aren't.
of his
We've learned
class.
a lot. But he wants
It's
to
just
shut
about
it down.
Biden being
More
dishonest.
people will be hurt by continuing.
Even,
If you
I
look
get,
at
I agree. It's a little
Pennsylvania,
petty,
if you
but
look at certain states
you know,
that
the
have
point
been
is
shut
he's
down,
saying
they
that
have
Biden
Democrat
lies too.
governors all. One of the reasons
And
they
he
shut
lies,
down
like,
is
a
because they
lot.
want to keep it shut down
Like,
until
so you
after
can
the
fact
election.
check.
November
Yeah,
3rd.
yeah, very
Yeah.
serious
I
stuff.
You're-
Plus, there's the
But
plagiarism.
those
Gentlemen,
states,
I
those
wanna move
states
on to
are
another
not
subject.
doing well that are shut down
Which is
right
gotta
now.
respond to that.
Wants to
President
shut down
Trump,
the
you
whole
have
country.
begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
No, I think
the
masks
efficacy
are
of
okay. You have
masks?
to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to, but I
Just
wear
like your
masks
rallies.
when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say,
why?
The way to open businesses is give them the wherewithal to be able. We provided money. The Congress.
But I was asking you, sir, about masks.
Well, masks masks make a big difference. His own head of the CDC said if we just wore masks between now, if everybody wore masks in social distance between now, save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
and they've also said the opposite. They've also said
no serious person said the opposite.
they've
No
also said, well, look
serious.
at
I wanna
Dr.
ask you-
Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the
He
opposite.
did not
I
say
wanna
the
ask you, we
opposite.
got
Poor
Those
Dr.
wrong.
Fauci. They keep
The
bringing
masks
him
are
up.
not good. Then he
He throws
changed
to
his
the
mind.
back
He
like,
said, "That's it.
I
I'm
wanna
okay
ask-
with masks.
I
I'm
want to
not
ask you
fighting
both about
masks."
one last subject because your different approaches has even affected the way that you have campaigned. President Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people. Outside, yes, sir, agreed. Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with.
Because nobody will show up. What's true? Nobody shows up to his rally.
All right. In any case, why you holding the big rallies? Why you not? You go first, sir.
Because people want to hear what I have to say. I mean,
But are you
I've
not
done a
worried
great
about a
job
spreading
as a
disease?
president, and I'll have 35,000 people show up at airports. We use airports.
You're
to
not
hang
worried
out.
was
about
great.
We have a
disease
lot of
issues,
people.
sir.
Well, so far, we have had no problem
Oh,
whatsoever.
man.
It's outside. That's a big difference, according to the experts. And we do them outside. We have tremendous crowds, as you see. I mean, and literally on 24 hours notice. And Joe does the circles and has 3 people someplace.
By the way, did you see
Gotcha.
one of the last big rallies he had? And a reporter came up to him to ask him a question. He said, no, stand back. Put on your mask. Put on a mask. Have you been tested? I'm way far away from those other people. That's what he said. I can't. I'm going to be okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no
cheek
negative
to
effect.
jowl. No negative effect.
We've
Come
had
on.
no negative effect. And we've had
Well,
35, 40,000
all right, you
people
wanna-
at these rallies.
Just
Yes.
quickly finish up because I want to move on to our next.
Yes, I would. He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encouraged them not to.
All right.
He's a fool on this.
If you could get the crowds, you would have done the same thing. But you can't. Nobody cares.
Gentlemen,
Joe.
can we move on
Nobody
to the
cares.
gentlemen?
Nobody cares, Joe.
The economy is, I think it's fair to say, recovering.
Yeah, I'm not going to
faster
say like Biden
from
isn't
the
making some
shutdown.
good points.
Much-
It's that
In the second quarter, the
Trump is
unemployment rate
dominating the
fell to
entire conversation.
8.4% last month.
How's
The
Joe
Federal
was like
Reserve-
citing an example of Trump's social
No.
distancing. Then he's like, Trump doesn't know how to social
Nearly
distance.
as big as they
Yeah.
had
It's not like he's the
expected.
president. It's not like he has an
President Trump, you
important
say
job.
we are in
Like,
a V-shaped recovery. Vice President Biden, you say it's more of a
Thank you.
K-shape. What difference does that mean to the American people in terms of the economy? President Trump, in this segment, you go first.
So we built the greatest economy in history. We closed it down because of the China plague. When the plague came in, we
No, he did
closed
say
it down,
China.
which was very hard
China.
psychologically to do. He didn't think we should close it down, and he was wrong. And again, 2 million people would be dead now instead of still 204,000 people is too much. One person is too much. Should have never happened from China. But what happened is we
China.
closed it down, and now we're reopening. And we're
He's
doing
going to start
record
saying it a
business.
lot.
We had 10.4 million
Yeah.
people in a 4-month period that we've put back into the workforce. That's a record the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And he wants to close down he will shut it down again. He will destroy this country. You know, a lot of people between drugs and alcohol and depression, when you start shutting it down, you take a look at what's happening in some of your Democrat-run states where they have these tough shutdowns. And I'm telling you, it's because they don't want to open it. One of them came out last week. You saw that. Oh, we're going to open up on November 9th. Why November 9th? Because it's after the election. They think they're hurting us by keeping them closed. They're hurting people. People know what to do. They can social distance. They can wash their hands. They can wear masks. They can do whatever they want. But they got to open these states up. When you look at North Carolina, when you look, and these governors are under siege, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and a couple of others, you got to open these states up. It's not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison. And you look at what's going on with divorce, look at what's going on with alcoholism and drugs. It's a very, very sad thing. And he'll close down the whole country. This guy will close down the whole country and destroy our country. Our country is coming back incredibly well, setting records as it does it. We don't need somebody to come in and say, let's shut it down.
All right. Your 2 minutes, sir. We're now moved to you. As I said, posing the question, the president says it's a V-shaped recovery. You say it's a K-shaped recovery. What's the difference?
The difference is millionaires and billionaires like him in the middle of the COVID crisis have done very well. Billionaires have made another $300 billion because of his profligate tax proposal, and he only focused on the market. You folks live
No, it's because you shut down all the small businesses, so now everybody has to buy off Amazon, you piece of shit.
How old are you doing? This guy paid a total of $750 in taxes.
Sir, it's just yeah, I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it.
Do I get my time back? The fact is that he is, in fact,
he needs it.
This in a way that he's going to be the first president of the United States to leave office having fewer jobs in his administration than when he became president. Fewer jobs than when he became president. First one in American history. Secondly, the people who have lost
so he shrunk down
are those people who have been on the front lines, those people who have been saving our lives, those people who have been out there dying, people who've been putting themselves in the way to make sure that we could all try to make it. And the idea that he is insisting that we go forward and open when you have almost half the states in America with a significant increase in COVID deaths and COVID cases in the United States of America. And he wants to open it up.
Luna said,
why does he want to open it up?
Hell, I'm starting to like Trump. That's a huge deal.
He can't fix the economy.
Yeah.
COVID crisis. And he has no intention of doing anything about making it better for you all at home in terms of your health and your safety.
Yeah, Biden is. Yeah, he is. Trump still has more wealth, but yeah, his net worth has gone down year over year.
They were going to give his administration
since becoming president.
Teachers and school students masks. And then they decided, no, couldn't do that because it's not a national emergency, not a national emergency. They've done nothing to help small businesses, nothing. They're closing. 1 in 6 is now gone. He ought to get on the job and take care of the needs of the American people so we can open safely.
All right, your time is up, sir. We are going to get to.
I have to respond to that.
Well, you both had 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah, right.
Excuse me. He made a statement.
So did you.
People want their schools. No, people want their schools open. They don't want to be shut down. They don't want their state shut down. They want their restaurants. I look at New York. It's so sad what's happening in New York. It's almost like a ghost town. And I'm not sure it can ever recover what they've done in New York. People want their places open. They want to get back to their lives. They'll be careful, but they want their schools open.
Okay.
I'm the one that brought back football. By the way, I brought back Big Ten football. It was me, and I'm very happy to do it. And people of Ohio are very proud of me. And you know,
we're going to get back.
Gentlemen,
we're going to get to your economic plans going forward in a moment. But first, Mr. President, as you well know, there's a new report that in 2016, the year you were elected president, and 2017, your first year as president, that you paid $750 a year in federal income tax each of those years. I know that you pay a lot of other taxes, but I'm asking you the specific question. Is it true that you paid $750 in federal income taxes each of those 2 years?
I paid millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars of income tax. And let me just tell you, there was a story in one of the papers. I paid $38 million 1 year. I paid $27 million.
Show us your tax returns.
I went, you'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it. You know, if you want to go to the Board of Elections. There's a 118-page or so report that says everything I have, every bank I have, I'm totally under leveraged because the assets are extremely good. And we have I built a great
I'm asking
company.
you a specific question, which
but
is.
let me tell you.
I understand all of that. I understand all of that. No, Mr. President, I'm asking you a question. Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So not 750.
Millions of dollars. And you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you, Chris, let me just tell you something.
So the 750, like, this is what pisses me off. If you read the New York Times article, it says he paid $5.2 million in taxes between 2016 and 2017, right? The reason why they say he only paid $750 is because in the previous years he overpaid his taxes, and he used that money to pay off the taxes for 2016 and 2017, which $5.2 million.
Which, by the way, was given to
there was $750 left over that he had to cover.
If you can believe that. Now the man got
So
fired.
it's
right
actually
after
in the
that
New York
happened,
Times
but-
Vice
article.
President Biden, you want to respond?
Yeah, I do want to respond. Look, the tax code that made
I mean, it's in the New
put him
York
in a
Times
position
article.
that he pays less
Yeah.
tax than a
They're
school
the
teacher
ones who broke the
makes
story of the
on
750. It's
on the money
stupid.
a school teacher makes is because of him he says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code. And he does take advantage of the tax code. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. And I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you weren't president. Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just tell you, Joe. I've done more in 47 months. I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe. We've done things that you never even thought of doing, including
Gentlemen,
fixing the broken military that you gave me, including taking care of your vets.
Mr. President, we're talking about the economy. I'd like to ask you about
God
your plans
damn.
going forward, because, Mr. Vice President, your economic plan, if you were to
See,
be elected
Biden goes
president,
low, and then
focuses
Trump
a lot
just
on big
drop
government,
kicks him for
taxes,
doing it.
big spending. I want to focus first on the taxes. You
Like, this is
proposed
my
more
jam,
than
son. You want to
$4
go low? I
trillion
go low.
over a decade in
I know,
new
right?
taxes
Like,
on individuals making more than $400,000 a year and on corporations. President Trump says that that kind of an increase in taxes is going to hurt the economy as it's just coming out of a recession.
Well, just take a look at what is the analysis done by Wall Street firms. Points out that my economic plan would create 7 million more jobs than his in 4 years, number one. And number two, it would create an additional $1 trillion in economic growth because it would be about buying American. That we're going to make the federal government spend $600 billion a year on everything from ships to steel to buildings and the like. And under my proposal, we're going to make sure that every penny of that has to be made.
yeah, but see, Biden was in the Senate and signed a lot of those trade deals.
Not spending.
By the way, I'm
That's why we
eliminate
lost most of the
significant number of
manufacturing
taxes.
in the
I'm gonna
first
make
place.
The corporate tax 28%.
I
He's
just
the guy
wanted
who
to
did
get
it.
really frustrated and be like, just let me be president, okay?
91 companies,
Yeah.
That's all I'm
federal, I
trying
mean,
to
in the
get.
Fortune 500.
I
they
know,
don't
I'm
pay a
just, like,
single
talking
penny in
circles.
tax, making billions of dollars.
Why didn't you do it
Billions
before
of
when
dollars.
you were vice president with Obama?
Because you, in fact, passed that. That was
That's right.
your
I got
tax
it-
proposal.
I got it done. And you know what
Yeah,
happened?
you got it done.
Our economy boomed
And,
like it's never boomed.
The economy is
Mr.
busted.
President,
Let me finish.
Mr. President, let me pick up on that. You would continue your free market approach, lower taxes, more deregulation, correct?
Not lower taxes for American people.
But let me.
Excuse me.
But in Obama's, you talk about the economy booming. It turns out that in Obama's final 3 years as president, more jobs were created, 1.5 million more jobs than in the first 3 years of your presidency.
They had the slowest recovery since economic recovery since 1929. It was the slowest recovery. Also, they took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights and you pick up a lot. But they had the slowest economic recovery since 1929. Let me tell you about the stock market. When the stock market goes up, that means jobs. It also means 401ks. If you got in, if you ever became president with your ideas, you want to terminate my taxes, I'll tell you what, you'll lose half of the companies that have poured in here will leave, and plenty of companies that are already here, they'll leave for other places. They will leave, and you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen.
Look,
Mr.
we
Vice
inherited the worst recession short of a depression in American history. I was asked to bring it back. We were able to have an economic recovery that created the jobs you're talking about. We handed him a booming economy. He blew it.
It wasn't
He blew
booming.
it. He
What?
It
blew
wasn't
it.
booming.
What?
It was the weakest recovery
Sir, is it
since
fair to, wait, is it fair to say he blew it when, in
When
fact,
COVID came in.
when there was record low unemployment before COVID?
Yeah, but because what he did, even before COVID, manufacturing went in the hole. Manufacturing went in the hole.
Excuse
number
me,
one.
Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris,
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you were number two.
No.
Chris. They said it would
This
take a
guy is
miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000 jobs. They brought back nothing. They gave up on manufacturing.
We
Part
did
of my
not bring it.
standard fare.
I'm the guy
He
that brought
totally
back
gave
the
up on
automobile
manufacturing.
industry.
All right, let him.
We brought back, I was asked to bring back Chrysler and General Motors. We brought them back right here in the state of Ohio and Michigan. He blew it. They're gone. He blew it. And in fact, They're going.
Ohio had the best year it's ever had last year. Michigan had the best year they've ever had.
That is not
Many
true.
car companies came in from Germany, from Japan, went to Michigan, went to Ohio.
They're not having.
And they didn't come in with you.
Mr. Vice President, go ahead.
And so you take a look at what he's actually done. He's done very little. His trade deals are the same way. He talks about these great trade deals. You know, he talks about the art of the deal. China's perfected the art of the steal. We have a higher deficit with China now than we did before. We have the highest trade deficit
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch.
All right, gentlemen,
100%. China ate your lunch, Joe. And no wonder your son goes in and he takes out billions of dollars, to manage. He makes millions of dollars. And also,
Simply
while we're
not
at it,
true.
why is it, just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. What did he do to deserve
Oh,
it?
shit.
What did he do with
Why did he do that,
to
Joe?
deserve
You've
$183,000?
None
You've
of
asked
that
a
is
question,
true.
let him answer.
None of that is true.
Oh, really? He didn't
Totally,
get
But no,
$3.5
hey,
million?
Mr. President,
it's
Mr.
totally,
President, please.
Oh my
totally
God.
discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
Well, wait,
Hey, no, it's not. It's being investigated.
Mr. Vice,
He got
Mr.
$3.5 million.
President,
that is not true.
Oh, really?
Mr.
Oh,
President,
But, Mr.
it's an open discussion, please.
Now,
It's a fact.
Well,
There
you
is-
have raised an issue.
Come on.
Let the Vice
Totally
President answer.
discredited.
Did
There was a
Burisma pay him
report.
$183,000 a month
When-
with
when
no
you-
experience in energy?
Mr.
Look,
no
President,
My
job.
son did nothing wrong at Burisma.
I think he
and
did.
Mr.
The only
President,
guy that
let him
gets up-
answer.
I could say
He
he
doesn't
did.
want to
Yeah.
answer because he knows I have the truth. His position has been totally, thoroughly
By
discredited.
who?
And
The
Ukraine.
media.
By everybody. Well, by the media, by our
because they refuse to
allies, by
talk
the
about it
World
because they're
Bank,
embarrassed.
by everyone has discredited.
Ukraine's investigating his son.
Even the people
President,
who
please stop.
testified under oath.
So let me
Under
ask you
oath.
this,
And
Joe.
they-
No,
under
no,
oath.
go ahead, Mr. I'm listening to
Even the
you.
people under
He got $3.5
he
million from
testified-
Moscow.
he testified under oath in his administration, said, I did my job and I did it very well.
Oh,
I
really?
did it
I'd like to know
honorably.
who they are.
Well, I'll give you the list
I'll
of the
fire
people who
them.
No,
testified.
no, go ahead, sir.
Sure, you've already fired most of them because they did a
Some
good
because
job.
Some people don't do a
Well,
good
here's
job. With you,
Go
they
ahead.
say
You
it's
get
here's
the,
the
wait a
deal.
minute. You get the final word.
God.
well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown. Excuse me. This.
Hey,
this
let me
person.
just say,
Uh,
Joe.
No, Mr. President.
$3.5
Mr.
million,
President,
Joe.
That is simply.
Why did
not
he
true.
deserve $3.5 million
It
from
did-
Moscow?
Look, here's the deal. We want to talk about families and ethics. I don't want to do that. I mean, his family.
Yeah, I
don't wanna
about
do
all-
Dude.
his family's
Dude.
already
Are you
family.
sure you
But here's the
don't
thing.
wanna
My
do
family
that?
already wrote
Biden
that.
came in as a public
Fortune,
servant.
down
He
and
became
helping
a
us with
millionaire,
government.
And
right?
that's
So
such a-
obviously
that's
there's
such
some
a-
corruption
that's
there.
such a
Every
great.
single one of them lost.
To
This is
me,
not
it was a
about
product,
my
dude.
family or his
Helping us
family.
with
It's
government.
about your
Seems that way.
family,
They
the
didn't
American
collect
people.
$3.5 million.
He doesn't. That's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need. You, the American people. It's about you.
Wait, what?
That's what we're talking
Then
about
you
here.
should
all right, that's
Not
the end
about
of
here.
that's the end of the
Shouldn't have
segment.
taken the money.
We're moving on.
He didn't take them.
Vice
Hold on,
President,
his son's being
No,
investigated by
it's a
Ukraine.
very
They're like
good
accusing
idea.
him of
No, I
stealing
stood
money
up.
from him.
No,
He stood up
the
Yeah.
answer to
and
the
he
question is no.
Ukraine
No, sir.
with $1 billion
Sir,
if you don't
that
get rid of
is
the corruption.
absolutely
You know what, you're-
not
stop.
You're on
true.
tape
You're-
doing it.
you're gonna
You're on
have-
tape.
True.
Gentlemen,
Oh my
I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice,
he's
but I
on
see it seems
tape.
to be, why should I be different than the two of you? So here's the deal.
Good point.
We have
Here's the problem. Biden's argument
6
is
segments. We have
Trump
ended
isn't
that
presidential,
segment. We're
right?
going to go to the
But
next
Biden's out
segment.
here
In that
going
segment,
low on
we
every
are gonna
single
have
blow
two
now.
uninterrupted moments. In those two uninterrupted minutes, Mr. President, you can
I'm
say
just saying,
anything
like, you can't
want.
make that argument anymore.
I'm gonna ask
Biden
a
will do
question
exactly
about
what Trump
race, but If
did.
you want to answer about something else,
Well, yeah,
go
he's
ahead.
Trump does
keeping
it
his level.
more.
I think
Yeah,
that
exactly.
The country would be
Biden's
better
called him a
served
clown
if
twice,
we
a liar,
allowed
told him to
both
shut up
people
and
to
to
speak
shush.
with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you,
Yeah.
sir, to do
He also
that.
called him the worst
And
president in American
Well,
history.
frankly, you've been doing more
Oh,
interrupting
yeah.
than
That's
he
all right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than.
This is so childish.
Let's please continue on. The issue of race. Vice President Biden, you say that President Trump's response to the violence in Charlottesville 3 years ago, when he talked about very fine people on
Drink.
both sides,
Moderator
was
said
what
it.
directly led you to launch this run for president.
Oh, yeah, sure.
President Trump, you have often said that you believe you have done more for Black Americans than any president, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. My question for the two of you
God damn,
is
dude.
why should voters
Oh, damn.
trust you rather than your opponent to deal with the race issues facing this country over the next 4 years? Vice President Biden, you go first.
It's about equity and equality. It's about decency. It's about the Constitution. And we have never walked away from trying to require equity for everyone, equality for the whole of America. But we've never accomplished it. But we've never walked away from it like he has done. It is true. The reason I got in the race is when those people, close your eyes, remember what those people look like coming out of the fields carrying torches,
Supreme.
veins, just spewing anti-Semitic bile, and accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan. A young woman got killed. And they asked the president what he thought. He said there were very fine people on both sides. No president's ever said anything like that.
It is who's
now, second point I'd make to you is that when Floyd was killed, when Mr. Floyd was killed, there was a peaceful protest in front of the White House. What did he do? He came out of his bunker, had the military.
They set a church on fire.
To a church and hold up a Bible. And then what happened after that?
The church that they tried to set on fire
said that it was a disgrace. The general who was with him said all he
after they put out the fire,
people, not unite people at all. This is a president who has used everything as a dog whistle to try to generate racist hatred, racist division. This is a man who, in fact, you talk about helping African Americans.
Oh, sorry, Mona.
1 in 1,000 African Americans have been killed.
Maybe she's just singing.
Virus.
That's
and if he doesn't do something quickly, by the end of the year, 1 in 500 will have been killed. 1 in 500 African Americans. This man is a savior of African Americans. This man cares at all. This man's done virtually nothing. Look, the fact is that you have to look at what he talks about. You have to look at what he did, and what he did has been disastrous for the African American community.
So. President Trump, you have 2 minutes. Why should Americans trust you over your opponent to deal with racism?
He did a crime bill, 1994, where you call them super predators, African Americans, the super predators, and they've never forgotten it. They've never forgotten it, Joe.
No, sir, it's his 2 minutes.
So you did that, and they call you super predators. And I'm letting people out of jail now that you have treated the African American population community, you have treated the black community about as bad as anybody in this country. You did the 1990, and that's why if you look at the polls, I'm doing better than any Republican has done in a long time, because they saw what you did. You call them super predators, and you've called them worse than that.
It's still not great.
You look back at your testimony over the years, you've called them a lot worse than that. As far
Biden said recently that there needs to be more segregation.
We just have the support of 250 military leaders and generals. Total support. Law enforcement, almost every law enforcement group in the United States. I have Florida, I have Texas, I have Ohio, I have Portland. The sheriff just came out today and he said, I support President Trump. I don't think you have any law enforcement. You can't even say the word law enforcement, because if you say those words, you're going to lose all of your radical left supporters. And why aren't you saying those words, Joe? Why don't you say the words law enforcement? Because you know what? If they called us in Portland, we would put out that fire in a half an hour, but they won't do it because they're run by radical left Democrats. If you look at Chicago, if you look at any place you want to look, Seattle, they heard we were coming in the following day and they put up their hands and we got back Seattle. Minneapolis, we got it back, Joe, because we believe in law and order, but you don't. The top 10 cities and just about the top 40 cities are run by Democrats and in many cases radical left. And they've got you wrapped around their finger, Joe, to a point where you don't want to say anything about law and order. And I'll tell you what, the people of this country want and demand law and order, and you're afraid to even say it.
All right. I want to return to the question of race. Vice President Biden.
You should have just said law and order.
The Breonna Taylor decided not to homicide. You said it raises the question. Justice could be equally applied. I believe that there is a separate but unequal system of justice for blacks in this country?
Yes, there's systemic injustice in this country, in education.
You were in office with an African American for 8 years. Why didn't you fix it then?
With an African American, dude, really?
Honorable men and women.
Well,
they risk their lives.
If there's systemic racism,
this dude was his bitch.
When they occur.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you couldn't have fixed the systemic racism then? Is that what you're saying?
He did. He was a senator for like 40 plus years.
And what I'm going to do as President of the United States is call together an entire group of people at the White House, well, everything from the civil rights groups to the police officers, the police chiefs, and we're going to work this out. We're going to work this out. So we change
work this out, yeah.
more transparency in when these things happen. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to George Floyd. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to Breonna Taylor. Most don't like it, but we have to have a system where people are held accountable. And by the way, violence in response is never appropriate. Never appropriate. Peaceful protest is. Violence is never appropriate.
All right.
What is peaceful protest? When they run through the middle of the town and burn down your stores and kill people all over the place,
that
and you
is
say
not
peaceful protest?
President Trump,
No, it's
I'm not
not,
asking.
but you say it is.
President Trump, I'd like to continue with the
Yes,
issue
go
of
ahead,
race. I
please.
promise we're going to get to the issue of law and order in a moment. This month, your administration directed federal agencies to end racial sensitivity training that addresses white privilege or critical race theory. Why did you decide to do that, to end racial sensitivity training? And do you believe that there is systemic racism in this country, sir?
I ended it because it's racist. I ended it because a lot of people were complaining that they were asked to do things that were absolutely insane, that it was a radical revolution that was taking place in our military, in our schools, all over the place, and you know it, and so does everybody else.
Radical,
and he would know.
What is radical
totally
about racial sensitivity training?
If you were a certain person, you had no status in life. It was sort of a reversal. And if you look at the people, we were paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach very bad ideas and frankly, very sick ideas. And really, they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that to happen. We have to go back to the core values of this country. They were teaching people that our country is a horrible place. It's a racist place. And they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Vice President Biden?
Nobody's doing that. He's racist.
You just don't know.
Here's the deal. I know a lot more about
You
this.
don't
than you
know.
do.
Let him finish.
The fact is that there is racial insensitivity. People have to be made aware of what other people feel like, what insults them, what is demeaning to them. It's important to people know they don't want to. Many people don't want to hurt other people's feelings, but it makes a big difference. It makes a gigantic difference in the way.
Yeah, you're breathing too hard on the mic, bro. That's what Horace says.
It's a little bit like
shit, sorry. I'm a little bit stuffed up.
And his friends look down on so many people. They look down their nose on people like Irish Catholics like me and grew up in Scranton. They look down on people who don't have money.
Irish Catholics like me who grew up in Scranton.
They look down on people who are a different color. In fact, we're all Americans. The only way we're going to bring this country together is bring everybody together. There's nothing we cannot do if we do it together. We can take this on and we can defeat racism in America.
President Trump, sir.
During the Obama-Biden administration, there was tremendous division. There was hatred. You look at Ferguson. You go to many places. Look at Oakland. Look what happened in Oakland. Look what happened in Baltimore. Look what happened. Frankly, it was more violent than what I'm even seeing now.
Oh, my
but the
Lord.
reason
This
is that the
ridiculous.
Democrats that
disagree.
run these cities don't want to talk like you about law and order.
Violent
and you
crime,
still haven't mentioned.
violent
Are you
crime.
in favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you in favor of law and order? Go
Yes, I'm
ahead.
in
say
favor.
it.
You asked a question, let him finish.
Law and order.
Loses
Law
left.
and order.
Let him.
Law and order with
This is
justice where
bad.
people get treated fairly.
What?
And the fact of the matter is violent crime went down 17%, 15% in our administration.
All right.
It's gone up on his watch.
Went down
He-
much more
he
in
had-
ours.
All right, we're
He
now.
is
You're,
president of
Mr.
the
President,
United
you're going
States
to.
of America.
We
Mr.
were
President,
breaking every record in the book.
Mr. President, you're going to be very happy because
And the
we're now going to
places
talk about law and order.
Places we had trouble were Democratic-run cities.
That's
and
exactly
those
my question.
Democratic-
There has been a dramatic increase in homicides in America this summer, particularly, and you often blame that on Democratic mayors and Democratic governors, but in fact, there have been equivalent spikes in Republican-led cities like Tulsa and Fort Worth. So the question is this really a party issue?
I think it's a party issue. You can bring in a couple of examples, but if you look at Chicago, what's going on in Chicago, where
You'll
50
win, Phoenix.
people were
You'll
shot,
win that bet.
died shot. If you look at New York, where it's going up like nobody's ever seen anything, the numbers are going up 100, 150, 200%. crime. It
Republican
is
cities.
crazy what's going on. And he doesn't want to say law and order because he can't, because he'll lose his radical left supporters. And once he does that, it's over with. But if he ever got to run this country and they ran it the way he would want to run it, we would have our suburbs would be gone. By the way, our suburbs would be gone. And you would see problems like
he
never
would
seen.
know a suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
So much
I was
better.
raised.
I know suburbs, but
It's not 1950. All these dog whistles and racism don't work anymore. Suburbs are by and large integrated. There's many people today driving their
dude, I
kids.
think Biden thinks he's more in the 50s than
Black
fucking
and
Trump
white and
does.
Hispanic in the same car as there have been any time in the past. What really is a threat to the suburbs and their safety is his failure to deal with COVID. They're dying in the suburbs. His failure to deal with the environment. They're being flooded. They're being burned out because his refusal to do anything. That's why the suburbs are in trouble.
I do want to talk about this issue of law and order, though. And in the joint recommendation that came from the Biden-Bernie Sanders task force, you talked about, quote, reimagining policing. First of all, what does reimagining policing mean? And do you support?
It means.
Let me, if I might finish the question. What does reimagining policing mean? And do you support the Black Lives Matter call for community control of policing?
Look, what I support is the police having the opportunity to deal with the problems they face. And I'm totally opposed to defunding the police officers. As a matter of fact, local police, the only one defunding it, his budget calls for a $400 million cut in local law enforcement assistance. They need more assistance. They need, when they show up for a 9/11 call, to have someone with them as a psychologist or psychiatrist to keep them from having to use force and be able to talk people down. We have to have community policing like we had before, where the officers get to know the people in the communities. That's when crime went down. It didn't go up, it went down. And so we have to be engaged.
That's not what they're talking about, Chris. That's not what they're talking about. He's talking about defunding the police.
That is not true.
He doesn't have any law support.
Look,
he has no law enforcement
that's not
support.
true.
Almost
that's
nothing.
Look.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go ahead. Think. We have time.
Black Lives Matter.
No,
all right.
Name one law enforcement group that came out and supported
I think, gentlemen,
you,
I think I'm going to take back the
There
moderator's
aren't. I don't
role,
think there are any.
and I want to get to another subject, which is the issue of protests in many cities that have turned violent. In Portland, Oregon, especially, we had more than 100 straight days of protests, which I think you would agree. You talk about peaceful protests. Many of those turned into riots. Mr. Vice President, you say that people who commit crimes should be held accountable. The question I have, though, is as the Democratic nominee, and earlier tonight you said that you are the Democratic Party right now.
Yeah, you did.
The Democratic mayor of Portland or the Democratic governor of Oregon and said, hey, you got to stop this, bring in the National Guard, do whatever it takes, but you stop the days and months of violence in Portland.
I don't hold public office now. I am former vice president. I've made it clear in my public statements that the violence should be prosecuted. It should be prosecuted. And anyone who commits it
But
should
you've
be
never
prosecuted.
called for the people, the leader, excuse me, sir. You had never called for the leaders in Portland and in Oregon to bring in the National Guard and knock off 100 days of riots.
They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really? Really?
Here's the thing.
I sent in the U.S. Marshals to get the killer of the young man in the middle of the street, and they shot him. And for 3 days,
President Trump
Portland wouldn't do anything. I had to send in the U.S. Marshals, and they took care of business.
Go ahead, sir.
And by the way, his own former spokesperson said, riots and chaos and violence help his cause. That's what this is all about.
I don't know who said that.
You could argue the same thing for fucking Biden. What the fuck are you talking about?
And so here's the here's the point. The point is that's what he keeps trying to rile everything up. He doesn't want to calm things down. Instead of going in and talking to people and saying, let's get everybody together.
What's his solutions for calming things down?
What's he do? He just pours gasoline.
Sorry.
Constantly and every single solitary time.
And
did you get your chili dogs?
Segment. you a minute to answer, sir.
Nice.
You have repeatedly
I
criticized.
have to answer his
No,
statement.
you have
His statement.
repeatedly.
Wait,
You have
just one
repeated. No,
second.
you've been talking
He
back
made
and
a
forth.
statement.
I'm asking you.
I would love to
know,
end it.
sir.
I would love to end it. and
You know,
we
if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
we would very quickly.
We could do that, but
I'd
I'm
send
no,
in the National Guard, it would be over. There'd be no problem.
Okay.
But they don't want to accept the National Guard.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing
That's right.
extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to
to
do that,
specifically
but
do it? Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White
Proud Boys.
supremacists and
White
right
Proud Boys.
Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem.
His
This
own
is a left wing.
FBI director
This
said
is a
The
left
Proud
wing
Boys
guy.
like chairman is Afro-Latino.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what
Oh,
his
it's an idea.
FBI, his
Okay.
FBI
I mean-
director said.
Well,
They're
then
white
you know what?
supremacists, though, Crow.
We're done, sir.
Everybody-
Moving on to the next. We're
everybody-
moving.
When a
Whatever.
bat hits you over the head, that's not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is bad.
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas. that are-
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen, we're
group,
now moving on to the Trump
and
and
you ought to be
Biden
careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow you.
When
in
a
2
president,
seconds.
I'm going to ask a question. When the president seeks a second term, it is generally a referendum on his record. But
Oh,
Vice
Chris
President
Wallace
Biden, you
hates
like to quote
Trump.
one of your dad's sayings, which is,
He's
"Don't
never
compare
liked
me
him.
to the Almighty, compare me to the alternative." And in this case, sir, you are the alternative. Looking at both of your records, I'm going to ask each of you, why should voters elect you president over your opponent in this segment, President Trump? You
I
go
mean,
first.
maybe,
2
but
minutes.
like their leader
Because
is a
there's
minority,
never
and
been
like
an
30 something percent of the people in that group are minorities. So that's a
Very,
large
very
amount of
accurate.
minorities in
And
a
that's
white
despite
nationalist
the
group.
impeachment
But
hoax.
okay,
And you saw what happened today with Hillary Clinton, where it was a whole
Maybe. I
big
don't know them.
con job. But despite going through all of these things, where I had to fight both flanks and behind me and above, there has never been an administration that's done what I've done. The greatest, before COVID came in, the greatest economy in history, lowest unemployment numbers. Everything was good. Everything was going. And by the way, there was unity going to happen. People were calling me for the first time in years. They were calling and they were saying, it's time maybe. And then what happened? We got hit, but now we're building it back up again. A rebuilding of the military, including Space Force and all of the other things. A fixing of the VA, which was a mess under him. 308,000 people died because they didn't have proper health care. He was a mess. And we now got a 91%.
he's been waiting to pull the VA
at
out.
the VA, our vets. We take care of our vets, but we've rebuilt our military. The job that we've done, and I'll tell you some people say maybe the most important. By the end of the first term, I'll have approximately 300 federal judges and Court of Appeals judges, 300, and hopefully 3 great Supreme Court justices. That is a record, the likes of which very few people, and you know one of the reasons I have so many judges? Because President Obama and him left me 128 judges to fill. When you leave office, you don't leave any judges. That's like, you just don't do that. They left 128 openings, and if I were a member of his party, because they have a little different philosophy, I'd say if you left us 128 openings, you can't be a good president. You can't be a good vice president. But I want to thank you because it gives us almost, it'll probably be above that number by the end of this term. 300 judges. It's a record.
Looking at both your
God
records,
damn.
why should voters elect you president as opposed to President Trump? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Under this president, we become weaker,
It's going to be interrupted.
sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent. When I was vice president, we inherited a recession. I was asked to fix it. I did. We left him a booming economy, and he caused a recession. With regard to being weaker, the fact is that I've gone head to head with Putin and made it clear to him we're not going to take any of his stuff. He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even say anything to Putin about the bounty on the heads of American soldiers.
Your son got
No,
$3.5 million.
And by the way,
Mr.
my
President,
son,
wait a minute. Mr. President,
$3.5
campaign
million.
agreed that both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it. And why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
he never keeps his word. Can you add
No,
back, sir?
no, I'm not asking. That's a rhetorical question.
Can you
Go
add
ahead.
back 30 seconds?
Yes, you may have.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, thirdly, we're poor. The billionaires have gotten much more wealthy by a tune of over $300 to $400 billion more just since COVID. You in the home, you got less. You're in more trouble than you were before. In terms of being more violent, when we were in office, there were 15% less violence in America than there is today. He's president of the United States. It's on his watch.
But
and
the
with regard
riots,
to more divided,
the special
nation
circumstances,
can't stay divided. We can't be this way. And speaking of my son, the way you talk about the military, the way you talk about them being losers and being and just being suckers. My son was in Iraq. He spent a year there. He got the Bronze
so now he gets to
Star,
do whatever he
got
wants.
The service medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking
I don't know.
about.
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know,
got
Bo.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
for
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice
Oh my
president.
God.
And once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president, he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That
China.
and various
not
other places.
Right.
Oh,
He
man.
My
made a
son,
fortune.
my son,
And he didn't have
He's
a
just-
my
job.
son, like a lot of people you know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
Why was he
Proud of
given
my
And now
son.
he can do
$1
whatever
He wasn't
he
given
wants.
$100
So leave him alone.
Tens of
Totally,
millions of
President
dollars.
totally
President Trump,
discredited.
we've already been
Totally discredited.
We've
Pulling
already
the
been
reps
through
Zilla
this.
with
I
this
think the American
pen.
people would rather hear about more
So do
substantial
I.
subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make
I know,
a
but when
judgment call
somebody
here.
gets $3.5 million
Okay,
from
great.
the
Let's
mayor
talk
of
about-
Moscow,
let's talk
That is
about-
not
I think
true.
it's a terrible
That
thing.
report is totally
Why did he get
discredited.
it?
I
Mitt
think,
Romney on that committee
The
said it
government
wasn't worth
report is totally
taxpayers' money.
discredited.
That report is written
Trump
for
brought kids
political
into the
reasons.
debate.
know,
What a fuck
I'd
hat.
like to talk
Now,
about
here's the
climate
problem.
change.
So would I.
I love
Okay.
Trump.
Forest fires in the
People
West
accuse
are
Biden
raging
of
now.
enriching
They have
himself with
burned
his office, and they're
millions of
saying like
acres.
that's how his
They
son
have
got so much
displaced
money was because of his
hundreds of
dad,
thousands of
right?
people.
That's why I
When
bring
state
his son up
officials
because
there
like when you're
blame the
getting that
fires
much
on
money
climate
from
change, Mr. President,
somebody
you
in
said,
Moscow,
I don't think
it's weird,
the
right?
science knows.
Like-
But he
Over
brought
your
up the
4
wrong
years,
son.
But that's
You have pulled the U.S. out
well,
of the
Hunter's the
Paris
son.
Climate Accord.
Joe Biden was saying
know, but he brought up
Bo
Bo.
is his
Obama
dead son.
Environmental records.
Yeah.
What do you
well, why is
believe about the
everyone else is
science
talking
of
about Hunter.
climate
He's
change?
trying to like
And
dumb
what
people
will
like
you
me.
do
I thought
in the
he was
next
talking
4
about the same
years
guy.
to confront it?
Honestly, it might be clever
Crystal
distraction
clean
because like then he can
water
say
and
that
air
Trump
and
attacked his dead
beautiful
son.
Clean air. We have now the lowest carbon.
Well,
if you look at
but he
And
said
Trump didn't go
Hunter.
for it.
now, we
Trump
are
didn't go for it,
doing
yeah.
phenomenally. But I haven't destroyed our
clarified.
businesses. Our businesses aren't put out of commission. If you look at the Paris Accord, it was a disaster from our standpoint. And people are actually very happy about what's going on because our businesses are doing well. As far as the fires are concerned, you need forest management in addition to everything else. The forest floors are loaded up with trees, dead trees that are years old.
Baron
and they're
Trump's like
tinder
a
and
kid
leaves
or
and
a
everything else.
teenager.
You drop a
I
cigarette
mean, dude,
in there, the whole
it's a
forest burns
major
down.
difference.
You've got to have forest management.
Like
You've got to have
Hunter's got
What do you
a
believe
fuck
about
ton
the
of money from
science
foreign
of climate
countries.
change?
Well, his father is
I
vice
believe
president.
that we have
It's
to
a
do everything we can to have
it smells fishy if
immaculate
nothing
air,
else, but
immaculate
like
water, and do whatever
Baron
else
is
we
a
can that's good. You know,
teenager.
we're planting
It's
a billion
it's a
trees,
massive
the Billion
difference,
Tree
dude.
Project, and it's very
You
exciting
believe
for a lot of
that
people.
that
You
human
go after his other kid though.
pollution,
Trump's other
gas,
kid.
Yeah,
greenhouse
and
gas
Ukraine is
emissions
investigating
contributes
his
to the
son
global
for the
warming
money
of
I
that
think
was
a lot of
taken
things
by
do, but
them.
I think to an extent, yes. I think to an extent, yes. But I also think we have to do better management of our forests. Every year, I get the call, California's burning. California's burning. If that was cleaned, if you had forest management, good forest management, you wouldn't be getting
The
those
criticism
calls.
is
You know, in
about him
Europe, they
enriching
live their
himself off
forest
his
cities. They're
father's
called
name
forest cities.
and with his
They
father's
maintain
support.
their forests.
And
They
Ukraine
manage
is
their
currently
forests.
investigating him.
I was with
You
the
want to say
head
something
of a
related, that's perfectly
major
fine.
collective, It's
Trump is saying that
forest.
he only
He
did
said,
that
"Sir,
because
we
Biden was the
have
vice president.
Trees that are far more, they ignite much easier.
Oh, fine,
in
you can feel that way.
California. There shouldn't be that problem. I spoke with the governor about it. I'm getting along very well with the
I
governor.
mean, Trump
But I
has
said,
his kids
at some
gone
point,
after all the time.
you can't every
Yeah,
year
I mean,
have
that's the thing.
hundreds of
But
thousands of acres
again,
of
one's a
land that's
minor.
burned to the ground.
Like they
So
go after
that's
his other
burning
kids
down
too.
because of
Ivanka
lack
Trump, they
of
But
land.
sir, if
they
you
accuse him
believe
of
in the
molesting
solution
his
to climate
daughter.
change, why have you rolled back the Obama
Go for it.
Clean
They're
Power
in
Plan,
politics.
which limited
Criticize
carbon
them. I don't fucking care.
emissions in power plants? Why have you relaxed?
Because it was driving energy prices through the sky.
Why have you relaxed fuel economy standards that are going to create more pollution from cars?
Well,
and
not
trucks?
really, because what's happening is the car is much less expensive and it's a much safer car. And you're talking about a tiny difference. And then what would happen, because of the cost of the car, you would have at least double and triple the number of cars purchased. We have the old slugs out there that are 10, 12 years old. If you did that, the car would be safer. It would be much cheaper by
But in the case of
$3,500.
California, they've simply
No,
ignored
but you would
your-
take a lot of
your
cars
rollback.
off the market because people would be able to afford a car. Now, and by the way, we're going to see how that turns out. But a lot of people agree with me, many people. The car has gotten so expensive because they have computers.
Trump
all
always
over
says
the
like
place
many people. We
for
should
an
put that
extra
on the
little
list.
bit
Okay.
of gasoline. And by
That's
the,
not-
and
what?
I'm okay with electric cars too. I think I'm all for electric cars. I've given big incentives for electric cars. But what they've done in California is just
All right.
crazy.
Vice President Biden, I'd like you to respond to the president's climate change.
I mean, because
record, but I
there are
also wanna
images of
ask
him.
you
I'm not
about
going to
your
argue with
concern.
you.
proposed $2 trillion in green jobs. You talk about new limits, not abolishing, but new limits on fracking, ending the use of fossil fuels to generate electricity by 2035, and zero net emission of greenhouse gases by 2050. The president says a lot of these things would tank the economy and cost millions of jobs.
He's absolutely wrong, number one. Number two, if in fact, when
Why
during
is he
our
wrong, though?
administration, the Recovery Act,
Why
I
is
was
he
able to, I was in charge, able to bring down the cost of renewable energy to cheaper than or as cheap as coal and gas and oil. Nobody's going to build another coal-fired plant in America. No one's going to build another oil-fired plant in America. They're going to move to renewable energy, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure
And that's not really
we're
working out
able
for
to take
California,
the
but
federal
okay.
fleet and turn it into a fleet that's run on their electric vehicles. Making sure that we can do that, we're going to put 500,000 charging stations and all of the highways that we're going to be building in the future. We're going to build an economy that, in fact, is going to provide for the ability us to take 4 million buildings and make sure that they, in fact, are weatherized in a way that, in fact, they'll emit significantly less gas and oil because the heat will not be going out. There's so many things that we can do now to create thousands and thousands of jobs. We can get to net zero in terms of energy production by 2035. Not only not costing people jobs, creating millions of good paying jobs, not $15 an hour, but prevailing wage, by having a new infrastructure that in fact is green. And the first thing I will do, I will rejoin the Paris Accord. I will join the Paris Accord because with us out of it, look what's happening. It's all falling apart. And talk about someone who has no relationship with foreign policy. Brazil, the rainforests of Brazil are being torn down, are being ripped down. More carbon is absorbed in that rainforest than every bit of carbon that's emitted in the United States. Instead of doing something about that, I would be gathering up and making sure we had the countries of the world coming up with $20 billion and say, here's $20 billion. Stop tearing down the forest. And if you don't, then you're going to have significant economic consequences.
What about the argument that President Trump basically says that you have to balance environmental interests?
Here's $20 billion. Stop doing this thing.
He's drawn his line.
Well,
he hadn't drawn a line. He still, for example, make sure that he wants to make sure that methane's not a problem. You can now emit more methane without it being a problem. Methane. This is a guy who says that you don't have to have mileage standards for automobiles that exist now. This is a guy who says that, well, the fact that it's all true. And here's the deal.
He's talking about the Green New Deal, and it's not $2 billion or $20 billion, as you said. It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
where they want to rip down buildings and rebuild the buildings.
91 trillion, actually, but
that is not where airplanes are out of business, where two-car systems are out. where they
Not
want to
true.
take out the cows too.
Not
That's not
true.
true either, right?
Not
This
true.
is a one.
It's actually in the Green
That's
New
more
Deal
money
draft.
than our
They
They took
country
it out
can
of the
make
next
in
version,
100
but it's still
years
word
if
bill.
Not the case.
All right, let me,
No,
let me,
okay.
let me,
Destroy
because,
Yeah.
because I actually, wait a minute,
I know that's
sir, I
AOC's
actually
jam.
have studied
Yeah,
your plan.
a lot of that
and
stuff's
it
still
includes
in the
upgrading
bill,
4 million
but certain things were
buildings,
taken out, like the
weatherizing 2
cows.
million
That was taken
homes
out of
over
the bill
4
when they
years,
actually put it
building
together.
1.5 million energy efficient homes. So the
Sorry,
question
geez.
becomes, the president is saying,
I'm
think
very
some
stuffed
people
up.
who support the president would say that sounds like it's going to cost a lot of money and hurt the economy.
What it's going to do is going to create thousands and millions of jobs, good
100
paying
trillion.
jobs.
But let him finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
$100
They-
billion.
The fact is, it's going to create millions of good paying jobs, and these tax incentives to people for people to weatherize, which he wants to get rid of. It's going to make the economy much safer. Look how much
Good
we
night,
pay
Rev.
now to deal with the hurricanes.
Good
to
night.
deal with. By the way, he has an answer for hurricanes. He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them. They may.
I never said that.
That's
at all.
he did say.
You made it up.
And here's the deal.
You make up. A
We
Aw,
are going
thank
to
you,
be in a
Mona.
position where
You got
we
me.
can create hard, good jobs by making sure the environment is clean and we all are in better shape.
Then we do
spend
Mobile Suit
billions of
Gundams.
dollars now, billions of dollars on floods, hurricanes, rising seas. We're in real trouble. Look what's happened just in the Midwest with these storms that come through and wipe out entire sections and counties in Iowa. That didn't happen before. They're because of global warming. We make up
Oh, yeah.
15% of the world's problem. We, in fact,
What are you going to do about the weather,
the rest
Trump?
of the world, we've
What are
got
you
to
going
get
to
them
do?
to come along. That's why we have to get back into the Paris Accord.
All right, gentlemen,
Wait a minute, Chris. So why didn't he do it for 47 years? You were vice president. Why didn't you get the world? China sends up real
China.
good into the air. Russia does. India
Yeah,
does. They all
China.
do.
Oh,
We're supposed
I
to
mean-
be good.
And
by the way,
Russia.
he made a couple of statements.
Yeah.
The Green New
Two.
Deal is $100 trillion.
That is
not
not
20
my
billion.
plan.
That's
the Green
well,
New
you want to
Deal
rebuild every
is not
building.
my plan.
I want to
All
rebuild.
right.
If
every
he knew
building.
anything
Wait, no, no,
about,
wait.
if he knew
Gentlemen,
He
anything
made a
about,
statement
Gentlemen.
about the military. You said
Goddamn.
I said something about the military. He and his friends made it up, and then they went with it. I never said it.
Okay.
that is
What
not
he
true.
did
Sir,
is
you're
he
done in
said
this segment.
he called
Mr.
the
Vice-
military
Mr. Vice
stupid
President,
bastards.
I
and he
did
said
not
it on
say
Wait,
that.
tape.
wait,
He
That-
said
He
stupid
actually
bastards.
did.
He said
Sir,
it.
stop.
I would never
I
say
would
that. to
play
the
it.
military.
Play it.
Go ahead,
You're
Mr.
on
Vice
tape.
President.
Ooh,
Answer
there's a
this-
tape of
this
him
final
actually
question.
saying it.
The
That's the
final
problem.
question is, I can't remember.
I'm gonna
which
pull it
one
up
it
Oh,
after.
Joe saying it?
You know,
Yeah, he literally said it.
But and about the economy and about this question of what it's going to cost.
the economy.
I mean, the Green New Deal and the
the-
idea of what
the-
your
the Green
environmental
New
changes
Deal-
will do.
The Green New Deal will pay for itself as we move forward. You're not going to build plants that, in fact, are great polluting plants.
So do you
We're going to
support
build.
the Green New Deal?
Pardon me?
You support that?
No, I don't support the Green
Oh,
New
you
Deal.
don't? Oh, well, that's a
You
big
let-
statement.
I
That
support
means you
the
just
Biden-
asked the radical left.
I,
That's
su-
done.
I support
you
the
don't.
Biden plan that I put forward.
Okay.
The Biden plan, which is different than what he calls the radical Green New Deal.
All right, gentlemen, final segment.
What's the Biden
Election
plan?
integrity. As we meet tonight,
no fucking
millions
clue.
of Americans are receiving
Close your eyes and hold on
mail-in
tight. Hope
ballots
to
or
get
going
to
to
the
vote
fucking end
early.
of it. That's the
How
Biden plan.
confident should we be that this will be a
Everybody
fair
puts
election,
on
and what are
blindfolds
you prepared to do
and sniffs the
over
person
next
next to
5
them.
plus weeks, because
Yeah.
it'll not only be the election day, but also
That's the
counting
full
some
Biden
ballots,
experience.
mail-in ballots after
Right.
election day.
You
What
got to
are
hit yourself in the head with a
prepared
hammer
to
before you do
to
that too,
reassure
just so
the
you have that
American
bit of a
people that the next president will be
disassociation
the
with reality.
legitimate
It's so he can play
of
both
this
sides of the
election
fence.
in this
He can
final
say like,
segment.
"Oh, I'm for all
Mr.
these
Vice
progressive
President, you go
agendas," and then people get freaked out by it. Says, "Well, I'm not for those progressive agendas."
Decide how they're going to vote, when they're going to vote.
It's
and
annoying.
what
The
means
ones
by
that get
they're gonna vote.
criticism.
His
Yeah.
own Homeland
Yeah,
Security
exactly. That's why I
Director
hate
and
these
as well as
fucking.
the FBI
It's why
director
it's fun to
said
see him
there
get
was
yelled
no
at
evidence at all
because
that
I
mail-in
hate that
ballots
fucking
are a
double speak.
source of being
It's terrible.
manipulated and cheating. They said that.
Yep.
The fact is that there are going to be millions of people because of COVID that are going to be voting by mail-in ballots, like he does, by the way. He sits behind the Resolute desk and sends his ballot to Florida, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that those people
I heard
who
Biden voted
want
in
to vote
person,
in person
so I
are
don't
able
know.
to vote because enough poll watchers are there to make sure they can socially distance. The polls are open on time, and the polls stay open until the votes are counted. And this is all about trying to dissuade people
What
from
is that?
voting because he's trying to
Gummy
scare
worms.
people
Jess has
into
been
thinking
chucking
it's
them
not
at
gonna be
me.
legitimate. Show up and vote. You will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person, vote in person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you from being able to determine the outcome of this election.
Why would he
And
want
in terms of
anyone to
whether or
stop
not,
voting?
when the votes are counted and
He
they're all
needs
counted, that will be accepted.
You both need votes.
If I
you
win,
fucking idiot.
that will be accepted. If I lose, that'll be accepted. But by the way, if in fact he says he's not sure what he's going to accept, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, because if we get the votes, it's going to be all over. He's going to go. He can't stay in power. It won't happen. It won't happen. So vote. Just make sure you understand you have it in your control to determine what this country is going to look like the next 4 years. Is it going to change, or you get 4 more years of these lies?
Mr. President, 2 minutes.
So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition, because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won, and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our first lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that, because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition. As far as the ballots are concerned, it's a disaster. A solicited ballot, okay, solicited is okay. You're soliciting, you're asking, they send it back, you send it back. I did that. If you have an unsolicited, they're sending millions of ballots all over the country. There's fraud. They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump, just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket. They're being sent all over the place. They sent 2 in a Democrat area. They sent out 1,000 ballots. Everybody got 2 ballots. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen. The other thing, it's nice on November 3rd, you're watching and you see who won the election. And I think we're going to do well, because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months, because these ballots are going to be all over. Take a look at what happened in Manhattan. Take a look at what happened in New Jersey. Take a look at what happened in Virginia and other places. They're not losing 2%, 1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election could be won or lost with that. They're losing 30 and 40%. It's a fraud, and it's a shame. And can you imagine where they say you have to have your ballot in by November 10th?
The debate was supposed to end
November
1 minute
10th.
ago.
That means that's 7
How long
days.
do you think it's going to go?
The election, in theory, should have been announced.
I think they'll go like 20 minutes over.
All run by Democrats.
All
run by Democrats.
President Trump,
it's a rigged election.
you're going to be able to continue. You have been charging for months that mail-in balloting is going to be a disaster. You say it's rigged, that it's going to lead to fraud. But in 2018, in the last midterm election, 31 million people voted mail-in voting. That was a quarter, more than a quarter of all the voters that year cast their ballots by mail. Now that millions of mail-in ballots have gone out, what are you going to do about it? And are you counting on the Supreme Court, including a Justice Barrett, to settle any dispute?
Yeah, I think I'm counting on them to look at the ballots, definitely. I hope we don't need them in terms of the election itself. But for the ballots, I think so, because what's happening is incredible. I read today where at least 1%
that one line is going to set so many people off.
Were invalidated. They take them. We don't like them. We don't like them.
But what are you going to do about it? There are millions of ballots going out right now.
What you do is you go and vote. You do a solicited ballot, and that's okay, or you go and vote.
I'm asking you about the fact that millions of people.
You go and vote. You go and vote like they used to in the old
millions of people.
You either do, Chris, a solicited ballot where you're sending
that's fair,
it back, and you're sending. They have mailmen with lots of it. Did you see what's going on? Take a look at West Virginia. Mailmen selling the ballots. They're being sold. They're being dumped in rivers. This is a horrible thing for our country. This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well.
Didn't Project Veritas get video there?
Ballots for the last
they did.
decade or more, 5, including 2 Republican states. And you don't have to solicit the ballot. It's sent to you. It's sent to your home. What they're saying is that it has to be a postmark by election day. If it doesn't get in till the 7th, 8th, 9th, it still should be counted. He's just afraid.
I mean, I would be a
of
total
counting the
conspiracy
votes.
theorist. I really feel like he has
No,
something
I
in
want
his
to
ear.
continue with you on
I
this.
love that.
Vice President Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes
In
a
fact,
statement
no,
like that.
Right.
excuse me. Vice President Biden, the biggest problem, in fact, over the years with mail-in voting has not been fraud historically. It has been that sizable numbers, sometimes hundreds of thousands of ballots are thrown out because they have not been properly filled out, or there is some other irregularity, or they missed the deadline. So the question I have is, are you concerned that the Supreme Court with a Justice Barrett will settle any dispute?
I'm concerned that any court would settle this because here's the deal. When you get a ballot and you fill it out, you're supposed to have an affidavit. If you didn't know, you have someone say that this is me. You should be able to, if in fact you can verify that's you before the ballot is thrown out, that's sufficient to be able to count the ballot because someone made a mistake and not dotting the correct I. Who they voted for, testify, say who they voted for, say it's you. That is totally legitimate.
All right.
Excuse me, Chris, when you have 80 million ballots,
gentlemen, I have a final
Senate
question.
and swamping the system, you know it can't be done. You know it can't, and already
All
there's
right.
been
So now,
fraud.
Mail service delivers
wait a minute, gentlemen. In the
185
final
billion
question
pieces of mail a
is:
day.
in 8
ballots.
states, we can keep talking. In 8 states, election workers are prohibited currently by law, 8 states, from even beginning to process ballots, even take them out of the envelopes and flatten them until election day. That means that it's likely, because there's going to be a huge increase in mail-in balloting, that we are not going to know on election night who the winner is, that it could be days, it could be weeks,
could be months,
until we find out who the new president is. So first for you, sir, finally for the vice president, I hope neither of you will interrupt the other. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm during this not to engage in any civil unrest? And will you pledge tonight that you will not declare victory until the election has been independently certified? President Trump, you go first.
I'm urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully, because that's what has to happen. I am urging them to do it. As you know, today there was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why?
Yeah, it's true. Hold on. I'll tell you after the stream.
And I am urging my people. I hope it's going to be a fair election. If it's a fair election,
it's actually a serious thing.
I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that. And I'll tell you what,
does that
from
mean,
a common sense,
does that mean you're going to tell your people to take to the
it means you have a fraudulent election. You're
And what are
sending
you
out
gonna do?
80
And
million
what would you
ballots.
do about that?
They're not equipped to. These people aren't equipped to handle it. Number one. Number two, they cheat. They cheat. Hey, they found ballots in a waste paper basket 3 days ago, and they all had the name military ballots. They were military. They all had the name Trump on them.
Vice President
you think
Biden,
that's good?
Vice President Biden, final question for you. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted? And will you pledge
how George Bush
not
won?
to declare victory
The second
until the
time.
election is independently certified?
Yes. And here's the deal. They count the ballots, as you pointed out. Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until election day. And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it. And by the way, our military, they've been voting.
I think he's being pretty fair, but he really hates Trump on a personal level.
And that's what's
there's a whole thing
happen.
between them.
Why was it not? Why is it for them somehow not fraudulent? It's the same process. It's honest. No one has established at all that there is fraud related to mail-in ballots, that somehow it's a fraudulent process.
It's already been established. Take
Take
a look at Carolyn Maloney's
You
race.
have an opportunity
Look
to
at Carolyn
respond.
Monroe.
Go ahead.
They have no idea what
Vice
happened.
President Biden, go ahead.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the deal. The fact is, I will accept it, and he will too. You know why? Because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted.
Believe me, this is probably your most fair moderator you're going to get.
In fact, fine. If it's
Yeah,
not
no,
me,
at least he's able to get his points across.
and I'll be a president. Not just for the
Obviously,
Democrats.
there is a point where he laughs at one of Joe Biden's jokes.
And this guy,
right?
I want to see an honest ballot cut.
Gentlemen,
He does have a bias against Trump, but he's able to bury it for the most
We're
part.
going to leave it there. To be continued as in more debates as we go on. President Trump, Vice President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half. I want to thank you both for participating in the first of 3 debates that you have agreed to engage in. We want to thank Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic for hosting this event. The next debate, sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates, will be 1 week from tomorrow, October 7th, at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. The 2 vice presidential nominees, Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris, will debate at 9 p.m. Eastern that night. We hope you watch. Until then, thank you.
What?
Good night.
I don't give a fuck about that. I want to see just Trump and Biden debate more.
Thank you.
Oh man!
You wanna take questions or?
I don't think
fight
so,
each other
no.
now.
No. It's just the family. That's pretty much it. And there's nobody there, so. All right. Okay.
Bada boom.
So I told you I was going to show you the clips. So yeah. So Trump got accused by The Atlantic, right? They named anonymous sources, told them that Trump said he didn't want to go to this military base to pay respects at a military cemetery because he didn't want to get his hair wet. He was saying, like, why does he have to do it? These people are losers. That was in the report, right?
Yeah.
The key thing about the report was Trump canceled the trip because he didn't want to go see a bunch of losers and get his hair messed up.
But it was like the U.S. military who was like, the weather's too bad to fly or some shit. Right?
Yeah. So the Navy, basically, to my understanding, I think it was the Navy. Regardless, some journalists filed a FOIA request, got the actual documents from the government that showed that it was military personnel who canceled the flight because of weather conditions. It wasn't as safe. Now, people have argued, well, other people are able to do it, and they're saying, like, yeah, they don't care. It's the President of the United States who are being overly cautious. But those were in the actual government documents. It was military personnel that canceled it. Had nothing to do with Trump at all. But like the report, okay, yeah, it was the Navy. Okay, thank you, buddy. But they were like adamantly stating that it was Donald Trump was a fucking disrespecting the military, and that's why it got canceled. Right. So the premise for the article is already off, obscenely, grossly off. Right. So then you go to this question, like, did he still insult the troops? Right. Well, if we know that they lied about why the trip was canceled, right, based on government documents and based on the people being there, why wouldn't they lie about the entire thing? Because, the whole thing is to get a spectacle out there. The people that were actually involved, willing to go on the record, they have said that it didn't happen. Now, those are Trump's own people. But John Bolton, who hates Donald Trump, right? Fucking hates this guy. He basically stated that this is completely false. Bolton did a whole tell-all book on the Trump administration, right? And he drops a lot of bombshells, right? Whether you believe him or not, that's not the point. He never brings up anything in his book about Trump insulting the military. And if that actually happened and Bolton teased it for his book, it would have been explosive. But it didn't happen. And Bolton flat out stated that it is not true. It did not happen. He never heard anything like that. Now, here's the thing, though. The Atlantic just put out another article that states, anonymous sources say that Trump insulted the Catholics. Yeah. They're going after huge core support base for Trump. Military. It's big for Trump.
What about the poll watchers?
The Catholics, they are big for Trump. The poll watchers story. Okay, so poll watchers go in and they basically sit in the election booths. They basically just watch and make sure things get maintained, right? That two people don't go into one booth together, that sort of thing, right? Everything is clean, right? Both parties usually send one representative over and they each do their thing. It's nothing chaotic or anything. In Philadelphia, Philly for the common folk, they kicked out every single observer that was for Trump. Yeah.
That's a little fishy.
Yeah, it completely is. Now, whether or not it's legal, I don't know. But the thing is, I guarantee you Trump will sue and take that all the way to the Supreme Court. And he'll get all of Philadelphia kicked out. He's got the entire Supreme Court now, right? So, like, you do anything stupid like that, Trump will be able to challenge it, right? Like 100%. And the Supreme Court will be on his side. 3 of those nominees will be his. It will be a 6-3 swing conservative. I mean, there's, yeah, my mom was a poll watcher. What? That's illegal. Yeah, no, people on Twitter are basically stating that that they're trying to send in people to intimidate the voters. I'm like, no, buddy, that's not what a poll watcher is. That's like, yeah, it's like these people are fucking stupid. Like, I don't know what to say here. Let me see if there's anything because it was trending on Twitter. I want to pull that up, but I do want to play the clip from Joe Biden at the same time. So let's do the clip from Biden saying the thing about the troops, and then we'll go into the thing about the poll watchers in Philadelphia, or Philly for the common folk.
Philly.
Yeah, I skipped over to the part where he actually says it.
Good judgment. 1, I married Jill, and 2, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastards.
They're really showing themselves to do really well.
Yeah, so this is while he was vice president, right? So he was speaking to the troops. And the thing is that there was a military person who actually did come forward and give his own perspective on it. So I'll state what they had said, and I'll give my own opinion first. He's giving the speech, and as he finishes it, he says, as they begin to clap, right? Because that's what they do. Like, if there's a guest speaker, they normally show respect and they do clap. But as they begin to clap, he says, now clap for that, you stupid bastards. And he's saying it to the troops, right? Now, the problem is, I think that's, you shouldn't do that, right? It's really disrespectful. One of the people that commented on it, who was a former Army officer, I believe, said that, you know what, these things, that's how they talk to each other, right? It's not so much a sign of disrespect. It is meant to be more of like you're just kind of like poking fun, right? But he said what makes it very unsettling is that clip goes on for a little bit longer. And he said something about the way that they were staring at him, but he goes like, the military is trained to do that. And it was a little uncomfortable the way he kept taking shots, because it's like, one joke's okay, but like more than that, it's kind of disrespectful, right? But either way, the thing is, they used anonymous sources with evidence that actually contradicts the story to claim that Trump said something disparaging about the troops. Well, you actually have Joe Biden on video calling them stupid bastards. Well, he just said, right? Like, I never said that. Play the clip. I mean, we just played that clip, right? He said, clap for that, you stupid bastards. Now, whether you want to say he is being a terrible person there and he means to be insulting, that's not the point. He literally did say that to the troops. He's on film saying it to the troops. Joe Biden is a liar, right? He does lie about shit. Now, does he lie as much as Trump does? No. He also doesn't talk as much as Trump does.
That's true.
I think if you put like percentages up side by side, they're probably roughly within the same percentage points. Like Trump is at like 50% and Joe Biden is at like 49% or 49.5%. Maybe it's like a smidgen less, but I mean, or maybe even more. Like, he just doesn't talk as much. Anyways. I'm trying to be as fair as I can here. I'm not very fair as it is.
What about the Green New Deal? Did he say that he was in support of that before and shit?
Okay, yeah. So let me show a couple of these things that people are saying about the debates. Okay. So this is from the Daily Wire. Chris Wallace at the beginning and Chris Wallace at the end of the debate. I mean.
That's good.
That is pretty good. I do like that. Okay, let's see the next one. I'm just going to go through these. I don't have many particular order. Okay. Oh, where is it? There you go. Biden. I don't support the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal will pay for itself. I don't support the Green New Deal. Yeah, I mean, someone down here says, right, I think he misspoke. He has been clear about it, right? I took screenshots just now from his own website. The Green New Deal in capital letters. Hold on. Oh my God, it's on his website. Biden Harris. It's on his fucking website. JoeBiden.com. Climate plan. Biden believes the Green New Deal is a crucial framework for meeting the climate challenges we face. It powerfully captures two basic truths, which are at the core of his plan. The United States urgently needs to embrace greater ambition. So, buddy, I denying that you have any support for it is not good. Well, at the same time, defending parts of it. You could just say, I do not agree with the Green New Deal. There are parts of it that I do think are good, but I do not support the Green New Deal. That's all he has to say, right? And it might seem like doublespeak, but if you actually look at his website, it lines up with that. Instead, he's like on there defending it and denying that he's for it, right? So it makes it look like you are for the Green New Deal.
It keeps people on their toes, you know?
I'm being fair here, right? I'm being fair to Biden here. Right? I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm saying like he is being one fucking dumbass in the way he is talking about it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go into the next one. Okay, here we go. Did Biden just say worst president in America has ever had? Hell yes, he did. So one thing I noticed, right? There was this trend called Did Biden. And on Did Biden, it's basically just people cheering him on as he insults Trump, right? So here's another one.
Okay. Yeah, look at
Did Biden just hit him with inshallah, LMAO? That's all I need to hear. Biden certified. Okay. So again, the majority of it is if Biden is insulting Trump, they get really onto it, right? They really do love it. Okay. And because those are the things that I see people who support Biden are saying on Twitter right now. It's primarily when he attacks Trump, they all get off on it, right? But let's see here. I'm going to go to my own Twitter feed because I liked all the ones that I thought made sense for the Did Biden for the rest of for the Trump side of things. That's pretty much where I am right now.
There's a Did Trump too.
Yeah. We can look at Did Trump next. Okay. So this is the one that I talked about earlier. Okay. Likes. Did Biden say men get abortions? I didn't.
And when they vote for President of the United States, they're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is.
This is a very long
clip.
clip.
The only way the American people get to express their view is by who they elect as president and who they elect as vice president. Now, what's at stake here?
I don't remember
the president's
this.
made it clear he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He's been running on that. He ran on that, and he's been governing on that. He's in the Supreme Court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which will strip 20 million people from having insurance, health insurance now, if it goes into court. And the justice, and I'm not opposed to the justice. She seems like a very fine person. But she's written before she went on the bench, which is her right, that she thinks that the Affordable Care Act is not constitutional. The other thing that's on the court, and if it's struck down, what happens? Women's rights are fundamentally changed. Once again, a woman could be held pay more money because she has a pre-existing condition of pregnancy. They were able to charge a woman more for the same exact procedure a man did get. And that ended when we, in fact, passed the Affordable Care Act. And there's 100
So they mean there
conditions,
like,
and they'll be taken away as well.
Oh, I get it.
So like
Yeah, I mean,
a woman gets charged more for an abortion than a man. Is that what he's implying there by procedure?
That sounds like he really misspoke there, like in a very bad way. Okay. Did Biden just say 200? I don't really like Ian Miles Strong, to be honest with you. Did Biden just say 200 million people died of COVID? Meanwhile, Trump brings up actual statistics about military servicemen who died under his watch. Yeah. I went to remove the light because I only wanted there so I could save it, and I don't like that guy. Did Biden just yell, "Shut up," and then call Trump unpresidential? Did Biden seriously just blame Trump for the economy that destructive Democrat governors destroyed? Do you think we're blind or stupid, Joe? Wait, did Biden just blame Trump for keeping businesses closed, then say we shouldn't reopen? This is his economy. He shut down. Did Biden just come out against the lockdowns? And this is just how did Biden avoid answering again whether he would pack the court? That part was annoying as fuck, right? Because I'm sitting there going like, you got asked a direct question. Just say if you support it or you don't support it, right? And then explain from there. Yes, no, here's why. Instead, he just walks around it entirely. And Trump immediately attacks him for it. And then Chris Wallace just like, okay, we're going to move on to the next segment. Like, what? No, make him answer you. That annoyed me so much. I was actually really angry when that happened. I may have been laughing at the time. But that's the thing. So when I look at the people on the left who enjoy Biden attacking Trump, right? So we'll do the did Trump as well, and we'll see like what the Trump people said and what the Biden people said. But the Biden people on the, did Biden say it's just supporting Biden for attacking Trump, right? Those are primarily the tweets that I'm seeing, right? When the Trump side is doing it about Biden, they're literally pointing out the complete inconsistencies or the really stupid things that are really being said there, right? So let's see if it's the same way on the did Trump. Where is the did Trump? No new trends for the United States. What do you mean? U.S. elections. I'll just type in did Trump. Okay. Here we go. Why did you decide to do that, to end racial sensitivity training? And do you believe that there is systemic racism in this country? Trump, I ended it because it's racist. Okay, why is that did Trump? What? Fuck off. Okay. So Bill Kristol is like he hates Trump. And a lot of conservatives like hate him because he used to be a big conservative guy. But yeah, he hates Donald Trump with a passion. As a political matter, Biden did fine and Trump hurt himself. But for the sake of the country, Biden should consider refusing to do any more such debates. Biden can do weekly town halls, including Trump supporters, but he shouldn't dignify Trump by being on. Really? Why is that appearing in did Trump? Like it's did and Trump. Oh, that. If you're calling for an end to these debates, you're an asshole because first off, they're entertaining as fuck. Second, no, you don't call for an end to debates. People like to talk about how Trump breaks the norms and shit like that. Yeah, I agree. He makes it blood sport, but
cool.
But that's what's going to happen. Deal with it. Live up to it. Stand above it. Your problem with Biden is Biden was just as willing to go down to that level. And, it's that there's that old saying, right? Like, never argue with maybe that's an old saying, maybe it's from a TV show or something. It's like, never argue with an idiot because an idiot will drag you down to their level and win by experience. I mean, the same thing could be said about Trump too, right? Like, I'm not calling Trump an idiot, but a bully, right? Like, yeah, the way that Trump is willing to fight, he's going to win that fight. So when Biden tries to slink down to that level, he just gets mollywopped by him, right? But, the debates are the debates. You can't just say, oh, I don't want debates anymore. No, you don't get to do that. whoever interviews President Trump next needs to start with, what exactly did you mean by stand back and stand by? That's a good point, right? Trump does not word anything right. He like that sounds to people on the left, that's going to sound like a red flag to them, right? 100%. And as soon as I heard him say it, I was like, oh, they're going to lose their minds over this one. But the thing that I didn't like is they flat out called the Proud Boys white supremacy group. But to my understanding, like, again, it's got a large minority membership. And the leader of the Proud Boys, like the chairman of them, is a minority. So it's weird to keep calling them a white nationalist group. But to be fair, at one point, there were members of that group. And I think that some of them were high profile. I don't know the whole story. But they were alt-right, right, with the actual white supremacists. But the Proud Boys kicked them out. So, like, I guess the implication is that they should have, that they knew that they were the entire time. But again, massive minority membership, and a minority leads them. So I don't see how you're saying like they're all white supremacists, or like, then why are they listening to the guy who's not white, right? Again, it doesn't make sense. Even if you want to say like they're bad people, that's perfectly fine. I just don't get like why you go to race. Oh, look, Angry Joe. One undecided said, I did not like how Joe Biden dropped to the level of Trump. What? But that's the thing. That's the thing. Biden's whole thing is he's presidential and Trump isn't presidential. So when Biden then goes ahead and sinks down to Trump's level, it does hurt Biden. You might like it. Again, remember I said the thing about it being cathartic to see Biden get yelled at? It's the same thing for the left. It's cathartic to them to see Biden just take a shot at Trump. But Trump's argument is not, I am the most presidential member of the entire president. Like, he doesn't say anything stupid like that. He does say a lot of stupid shit, though. But that's what Biden is claiming. He's more presidential than Trump is. So if he acts in the same way Trump does, then he's losing his own argument. I know you're going to argue fire with fire, but it doesn't work that way. Okay. Patricia Arquette. Trump did a great job of showing every stable person that he's unfit to lead at Joe Biden. See, I don't like tweets like that where you're just sucking somebody off. Like, say something that he actually did. Crazy, because then it's fun to critique it. Crazy how Biden's biggest win of the night wasn't even something he said or did. It was Trump refusing to denounce white supremacy in front of the entire nation. Fair point. I would say he refused. I think the problem with Trump is, well, I heard in the question that Chris Wallace asked, right? And I still think that he did a terrible job here. Chris Wallace asked, like, will you condemn white supremacy and militia groups and tell them to stand down, right? So I'm sitting there thinking, like, I guess Trump hearing that is thinking he's saying that I'm in control of the white supremacists, and he's just not going to answer the question at that point. But when specifically he said the Proud Boys, Trump then re-clarified Proud Boys, but didn't ever bring up white supremacy again, and he defended the Proud Boys. But the Proud Boys, like, again, I think you'd say, like, if you want to say the Proud Boys are fascists, bootlickers, whatever, I think that, you know, that's just
what they stand for. I thought Gavin McInnes started that shit. He's like a fucking comedian.
He did, yeah. But he's also left the Proud Boys.
So who's running it now? Just some guy.
To my understanding, he's either left, but he's not running it at all. This new guy, Enrique Tarrio, runs it. And again, the guy is not white. Like, that's my thing. I understand when they like to say like Uncle Tom, whatever, right? I think it's racist as shit. But like, the dude who's leading that group is not a white guy, right? So like, you can't tell me that they're white nationalists. Like, the guy who's in charge of them isn't white. Why would they all be following the not white guy if they're white fucking supremacists? That, to me, like, you lose me entirely. You'll never make it make sense to me, no matter how you try to fucking play your mental gymnastics. Yeah, the problem is you can use the same argument for Antifa with Biden. Yeah, that's the thing. Trump did flip it over to an argument that Biden won't condemn Antifa. And that's how Trump started off. Biden won't condemn Antifa. Antifa commits violence. They're his supporters. He won't condemn them. Biden didn't get pressed by Chris Wallace on that. Trump pressed Biden on it. But the problem is both Chris Wallace and Joe Biden pressed Trump on the white supremacy thing, right? And Trump did not give a heavy disavowal to white supremacy. He didn't. Now, has he done it before? Yes. The problem is he actually has to say it during the debate because it is immediately going to get used against him. But at the same time, maybe he doesn't care, not because he supports it, but because for his supporters, they'll just say he's not a white supremacist and you guys are lying, and it just emboldens them to call out the media as liars and shit. I don't know. I think it's a stupid game either way. But I think that that's going to hurt Trump in the sense that everybody who already hates Trump still hates Trump, and everybody who already supports Trump still supports Trump. Did Trump just admit that these white supremacist militias are right-wing and therefore his base of support? I'll play the clip.
To condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to do
specifically
that,
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what do you?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, actually, I think Trump did walk right into that one. But I don't think it's the same as him, like, stating that they are the same. It's just Trump being a fucking idiot. But he's a fucking idiot, and he owns that comment. Trump thought he was going to rattle or confuse or enrage someone in the debate, and he did, except it was Chris Wallace rather than Joe Biden. Yeah. Trump isn't as good of a trend. I'm not going to lie. Someone said the only time Trump did shut up was when he was asked to denounce white supremacy. That's kind of funny. Trump was a lot tonight. He did better than Biden for sure, but he was a lot. I questioned how many swing voters he won. It clearly went the way Trump seemed to want it to go, though. I guess that's a fair statement, right? Like, who did this actually influence? Because, actually, Jasmine told me something. And Jasmine, if you're still watching the stream, I want my gummy worms. I'm about to tell them what you told me. I'm going to go get the gummy worms. Let me go make sure it's okay to tell that story. Yeah.
What?
Steve, give the audience what you felt about this.
I thought this was a fun waste of an hour and a half, I guess. Trump was Trump. Biden was Biden. I was actually kind of impressed with Biden not stumbling over his words too much. That Tampa rally was really, 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 really bad. That live stream. I don't know if anyone's seen it. That was like the worst thing I've seen him do, probably. The only gaffes he really made was he called. Hold on, I have it up somewhere here. I have too many fucking WordPad opens. He called him a clown twice. He called him a liar, told him to shut up. He told him to shush. He told him he was the worst president in American history, and he also called him racist. So, yeah, I mean, like, not really too many gaffes, but went a little ad hom there, and didn't really back up why he was a liar. Just said, like, he's lying about shit. Didn't say why he was lying about shit or why it was a lie or inaccurate to begin with. So, and like, when you know how to argue with somebody, you just tell them to shut up. That's what a good debater does. Other than that, yeah, I'm bored of listening to both of these people talk. And I want Aura to come on. I don't know where Aura is. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes. I can't keep track of time. I don't know if he's in the chat. I'm just rambling now. I have nothing else to talk about. And Crow left me here alone. So, what else went on today? I mean, shit. Fuck. I can't even pull up Twitter right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm just, tweeting at my enemies. Boogie. So apparently, you guys want to talk about Boogie for a second? The cops said he probably shouldn't have opened the door. They probably should have called the cops and told them that like some maniac is here, and we should we should get in, or not get in, but go over. What's up, John? John, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a long time. If I could, I could send you the link. Let me send you the link. Crow, I won't be able to put you in. Crow will have to put you in. If you want to come on. But yeah, so I don't know. I just think the whole situation's, if you're given the opportunity to kill someone without going to jail, I don't think you should necessarily take that opportunity just because it's there. Okay, then you should come on, John. You should come on the stream and keep me company. Like I said, I won't be able to add you. I think I hear Crow. It's gonna be like, did you take care of the stream? Be like, no, we lost viewers. I didn't even see the view count ever. So I don't know if we lost viewers.
We did.
Did we lose viewers, Crow? We did?
Yeah, we lost half the viewers.
There you go. I mean, it makes sense.
Oh my gosh, yes, if John hops in, we'll be saved. There he is.
That's what I was saying. Hey.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on? What's going on, John?
What'd you think of the debate, dude?
I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. It was not a good debate, because there wasn't really any answer.
Any actual debate.
There wasn't really much any debate. It's not just that. It's just like I don't think that either person really articulated the points on any of the stuff that was brought up very well. Obviously, there was a lot of deflection on certain things by Joe Biden. It kind of went the way I thought in regards to how Trump debates. See, because the thing about Trump is not necessarily a good debater. What it is that he's a very aggressive debater. So he knows how to make it look like he's winning a debate by constantly being on the attack. I think, if anything, Ben Shapiro probably said it best. It was more of a show of their character tonight than it was really anything substantive. That's what I think. You know what I mean? I don't think the guys, I think there was probably certain missed opportunities for both guys.
Yeah.
And certain things that were talked about. But if I had to pick, if I really had to pick, from an appearance standpoint, I'm just looking at it just completely surface level and not really looking at the issues or anything like that. Well, then, yeah, Trump won the debate. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't really a debate though. It wasn't, it was just, with Biden, all I saw was a lot of the typical talking points, a lot of fluff, not a whole lot outside of that. That's it. That's just really it. And Trump, of course, as everybody knew, and I don't know why people are acting surprised. There's so many people that are out there acting surprised, like, oh, it's disgusting. He made it so personal. Well, yeah, that's what he does. He did that with Hillary too. It's just like he's not afraid to make it personal. He'll do whatever it takes to rattle somebody's cage, and I think he did. I think he had Biden shook a little bit at certain points. So, and I think it's only
he had his feathers ruffled for sure.
Yeah, it's not going to end. It's not going to end, with this debate. That's going to be all the debates they have. There's going to be points where Trump makes it personal. He's not afraid to make it personal.
So actually, I'm going to say something right now, because earlier when we were watching it, a couple of people were saying like, "Oh, I think it was actually YouTube Made Great Again," was saying like, "Oh, this moderator's not being fair at all." And I was like, "This is the most fair you will ever see in any of these debates," because. Yeah. Chris Wallace does not like Donald Trump, and you can see the interactions they've had before, but he is willing to put a lot of that aside to a limit. At a certain point, like everybody lets it get to him, but he's willing to put a lot of that aside, and he's still willing to go after Biden on certain things. I think that is the most fair you can hope for. As long as it's on television, because the rest of the shit's run by the networks that are 24/7. Trump is fucking Hitler.
Yeah, look, it's pretty obvious though. I will say this: there were a lot of softballs that Chris Wallace started throwing Biden at the end. I think it was. I don't know if it was out of pity, but Biden did get a lot of softballs towards the end of that debate. In my opinion, but it is what it is. I think the other thing that kind of showed was the fact that they can't. It's funny to me that people still haven't learned. Like there's no way to handle Trump in these debates. I don't know. Trump is not a guy that anybody can prepare for in a debate. Honestly, it's pretty obvious that Biden was not ready, to deal with how Trump is. You know what I mean?
No. And the thing is, I keep saying it, right? You cannot say that Trump is not presidential, make that a core part of your argument, and then immediately stoop down to Trump's level when he finally gets under your skin, right? Yeah. Because you lose that argument. And it's not about saying like, oh, so that's an offensive. No, it's your argument is you are presidential, you're professional, you'll uphold a different standard. But Trump gets under your skin and you are willing to say you're a clown, shut up. Like, yeah. Dude, you can't do that.
But you're giving Trump what he wants, though.
Yeah.
At that point, you're giving Trump what he wants. And that's the thing. And that's what I was wondering. It's like, Biden wants to act like, he's going to be the tough guy that's going to stand up to him. Okay, let's see how well that goes for you. You know what I mean? And it went off about as good as a fart in a church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, Biden, I expect more of the same from the other debates, really. I mean, maybe there'll be stuff that'll be a little bit more substantive in future debates, but I expect a lot of the same talking points from Biden. It's funny that Biden, I like the stuff that Biden was saying, oh, that's not true, which, like the stuff with Hunter Biden, I'm like, that's all true, bro. I'm like, you can say it's not true.
He tried to make it about Bo.
Yeah, exactly.
He tried about fucking Hunter before, like.
Yeah, and exactly. He's just like Bo, and he's like, and Trump was just like, well, I don't know him, so, but I'm talking about your other boy. Yeah. He's like, he didn't. Yeah, he made it clear. He's like, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the good son that you had. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the one that is corrupt. The one that you helped.
And that was in retaliation to him, like being like, "Oh, he's still like Putin's puppet or whatever." Like he won't call him out on anything. It's like, well, you got family who's like taking Ukrainian bribes, basically.
Yeah, but here's the thing: he's trying to bring. He's just like, well, family. This, that, this. Well, guess what? None of Trump's kids are criminals, bro. are committing criminal acts, bro.
Well, actually, you know what? I mean? The thing is, because Rob was in here earlier, right? They brought up, well, when they bring up Barron, Trump loses his mind. I'm like, well, hold on. Hunter Biden's an adult who's committed, who has been accused. I don't know how to say it. He got found fucking meth in his goddamn car, right? Like, but he goes to work for this Ukrainian energy company. He gets a fuck ton of cash, right? He gets paid millions of dollars from fucking Russia directly, right? At a certain point, like, yeah, it looks really criminal. It looks really suspicious. And Joe Biden is the vice president while this is happening. Yeah. It feels like you're buying Biden through his son, right? He's just giving you access. Now, a lot of it's soft corruption, right? It's not like there's anything implied there, but, you're making all of this money off your dad being the vice president. And then your dad goes and does stuff that benefits those. Like, it feels so fucking corrupt.
Think about this for a moment, right? Think about this for a moment. Biden openly admitted, all right, this is on tape. There's video out there. There's video evidence of Biden basically admitting to a federal crime of using his political pool to withhold funding unless a favor was done for him. That being the firing of the Ukrainian, bro.
The one who was investigating his kid. Right?
Now, mind you, yeah. Basically, the one that was investigating his son. He openly admitted to the fact that he used basic political pressure to have that guy fired.
He bragged about it.
And he bragged about it, exactly. And it's just like, dude, that's a federal crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is illegal. Biden could go to jail. The thing is, obviously, nobody's going to do anything because nothing ever happens to these politicians. And mind you, he admitted to this after he was already out of office as vice president. But it doesn't change the fact, he's sitting there openly bragging about it. Then he's trying to say, like, oh, none of that's true. It's been debunked. It's like, dude, those were your own words, bro. Those were your own words, homeboy. That's
been incredibly.
So who's lying? So is the media lying, or are you? You know what I mean? So apparently, right? One's got to be, but who's gonna admit to it? So I don't know. I like I said, I didn't see it as much of a debate. It just, to me, it's just like I said, if we're looking at a surface level of just, just bickering, then I guess, Trump. But, I don't, if this is any indication of how the debates are going to go, nobody's going to really get to any substantive points, I think. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I saw Steve was talking about the Boogie situation for a little bit. I just found out about that.
Well, I was just saying that, like, the cop said that he probably shouldn't have opened the door, which is kind of what I was saying. So, like,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, sure. But guess what? If he opens the door, fires a gun, he ain't going to prison.
Well,
no. If he feels that his life is threatened. And here's the thing. Look, as far as Boogie goes, I've never been a fan of Boogie. I mean, there's certain videos that he's made in the past where I thought, okay, that's all right. I could agree with that. But one of the things, and rightfully so, I think that people have criticized about Boogie in the past, is that Boogie he's the habitual fence sitter, which that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it also says a lot about a person that can't take a stand for either or. But here's the thing. He's always obviously had his stance on particular things. He'll talk about trying to see things down the middle. That might be appealing to some. That nobody's really down the middle when it comes to things. At one point in time or another, you're going to show what you're really about. With Boogie, one of the things that I felt was always off-putting about him as a person and his content is the fact that he is not very assertive when it comes to certain things, right? And on top of that, here's the other thing. Here's the weird thing, is that he will, you expect him to be assertive when it really counts, but it's just like when it comes to dealing with like trolls, right? Like he gives them way too much oxygen. It's like, bro, why do you play that game with them? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they're going to keep doing it, right? It's like he falls for it every time. It's just like, and it makes me wonder, like, is he really falling for it, or is he just doing it for his own entertainment and amusement? He makes it seem like he doesn't, but I don't know. I don't know, man. You would think a guy that at least comes across, that comes across as smart, quote unquote, as Boogie does, wouldn't. But maybe he's just a glutton for punishment. I don't know.
I think it's for the fucking followers and views.
Maybe.
I mean, like, how relevant was Boogie before yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. He was already. That's the thing, because Boogie is a guy who had a pretty big fall from grace because of the way he would, handle people differently on the different platforms he was on, right? Like Twitch Boogie is a far cry from YouTube Boogie, who seems like this sweet, he's that sweet, lovable, big guy who's this, that, or the other, whereas Twitch Boogie was kind of a dick, right? And that didn't help.
I actually don't know Twitch Boogie at all.
Yeah, well, Twitch Boogie is kind of what caused his real decline. You know what I mean? And it kind of showed a preview of what we've seen now with Boogie, of how he deals with trolls. Like he'll sit there and he'll go at it with him. It's like, bro, just like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time with people like that. Because I think I agree with the point I think people have said, like, if Boogie had just ignored this guy, it probably wouldn't have never gotten to that point where this guy actually showed up to his house. And I agree with that. I don't think it would have either. It's because he waded so much into it himself that this guy actually showed up at himself. Now, I'm not saying that guy was justified. That guy's an asshole too.
Yeah.
Because he just is. The Hasselman guy, or whatever his name is. Frank Hassel.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's an asshole too. To take it that far, to go to somebody's house with the GoPro, it's just like, bro, no, that's dickhead stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that will get you shot one day, bro. You know what I mean? You're asking to
but
get
not
shot.
by Boogie, because he's a pussy.
You're not
but
by
like someone.
Not by Boogie. Yeah, not by Boogie.
Steve, dude.
Yeah,
but not by Boogie. He's a pussy.
Yeah, not by Boogie. Not by Boogie, but by somebody. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff you're asking to get shot, bro. pulling stunts like that, rolling up to somebody's house, proving I don't know what, but yeah, that dude's asking for it. Frank Castle, is it Frank Castle?
Frank Castle, yeah.
Yeah, Frank Castle.
Yeah. Hassel, yeah. I mean, I'm guessing that's not his real name. It'd be funny if it was, though. But
I mean, it'd be fitting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But that guy's asking for trouble, and none of what he did is justified either. That dude's an asshole. But I know people out there saying that they think that Boogie might have even set this whole thing up, and it's just like, I mean, look, it's always within the realm of possibility, right? It's always within the. I don't know that's necessarily the case, only because of how Boogie has acted on live streams before, where he really gets mad and he'll go at it with actual trolls and stuff like that. I don't think so, but who knows at this point, right? We were talking about Boogie here, who's had a massive decline online, could be getting desperate. I don't know how his finances look these days. Yeah, I mean, because he's had a huge decline in his viewership. You know what I mean?
Well, and he paid for all that, what was it, liposuction or whatever, and all those brand new teeth. Like, he's had a lot of money going out. Maybe not
expenses,
so much coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to think with the massive decline in audience and viewership and all that stuff. I mean, desperation, man, could lead to people doing stuff like that. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying that Boogie set it up, but if something came out, like if there was any evidence that came out to prove, that he actually set the whole thing up with this guy, I wouldn't be surprised either, right?
Yeah. Well, if there is evidence, then Frank is fucking blackmailing him with it right now, probably. Because it just seems like something he'd do.
Yeah. And I know Keemstar had an interview with both of them, and I guess, he was threatening that Frank guy, saying he was going to kill him or whatever. Probably shouldn't be saying stuff like that.
I think Frank said that it would be the worst day of his life. And then Boogie I heard recording of Boogie was saying, like, I want you to come to my house so I can take the pleasure in killing you. And then he was egging him on. He's like,
guys,
come to my house.
Sorry, we have a call into the stream. Would like to give his opinion on the situation.
Go ahead.
Hi, caller. Can you please give your opinion on what Steve DeLive just said?
That's my boy right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Baby Girl.
Steve is
I've only been waiting for you for 3 hours.
Sorry.
It's been 2 hours and 56 minutes, and you were a minute late, so hasn't been 3 hours, buddy.
Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. Steve here is just a goddamn liar.
Steve is right, though, about the Boogie thing. The recordings and stuff. One of the videos had some of it, actually. One of the things
never played, Crow.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Again. Because the thing is, I actually watched Nick Rekieta stream on it, and I did disagree because he's watching it, right? And he says, like, he's never told this guy to leave, right? I'm like, well, when he's in the house threatening to get the gun, he says you are not welcome here, right?
Yes, Soge, it's true.
So I mean, maybe I'm not remembering that correctly, but I'm pretty sure I remember in the video he says before he goes outside, right, when he's still threatening to get the gun, he says, "You are not welcome here. You've made threats against my life. You are not welcome here," right? If he says that,
he said it while waving his Nerf gun around in his fucking face. He said it when he fired the warning shot.
Okay, so it's after he's outside, because the thing is, it shuts off the camera when he goes outside. There's a portion before he goes outside, when he's outside, where the camera is shut off. Mm-hmm. So when he is outside, he says, "You're not welcome here," right?
I'm gonna do this, man. I just gotta make sure my dog's safe. I'm gonna give it to this guy trying to buy an air conditioner.
God, I really want to play the entire thing again, just so I can hear that call. But God, I'm gonna do it, or I say something.
Well, apparently, wasn't there a point? I do know. I remember he fired the warning shot, right?
Which he may be in trouble for.
Yeah.
Why you don't fire warning shots?
Huh?
Well,
why you don't fire warning shots?
I heard that. or the law is kind of hazy when it comes to that. I think in the state of Arkansas, I believe that's actually illegal to fire warning shots.
In a residential
I could be wrong
area.
about that.
No, you're right.
But hearing that whole thing, it sounded like the guy, what's his name, Frank Hassel, was like, he was like making it seem like like he was the one. Like he was the one that was like, "Oh, this guy is crazy. He's trying to do this to me." It's like, bro, you showed him at his house, bro. Yeah. What the fuck?
Well,
and you've been harassing him for months. It's just like,
after all that shit, he said he's going back again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That dude is trying. That dude must not. He just must not want to live. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Boogie is lost it. You know what I mean? He's a guy who's had, and he doesn't. That's the other thing too, is that Boogie's the kind of guy that he'll feel justified in doing it. You know what I mean? You're like, look, I don't feel safe. That's it. Like maybe that's what this guy's always wanted. I don't know if maybe that's some kind of sick desire he has is to be offed by a YouTuber. I don't know.
No, I think he wants to make Boogie look as bad as possible, because I think it makes him look really fucking bad to. When you're given the opportunity to kill someone, you're gonna just take it as long as you can get away with it legally. Even if you know that it's not an immediate threat. I mean, you can. If he really thinks that guy's an actual threat, I know. He's at his address.
No, that's not what I'm saying. All he has to do is prove that it's not beyond a reasonable doubt that he was in fear for his safety. I've already said, Steve, like, I don't know how you would feel, right, if fucking Russian Ross shows up randomly outside of your place, right, shouting at you all that sorts of shit, right, and how you feel you would react, right? Do you think that that's the reaction everybody would have, though? Is someone that they've been mad?
GoPro slapping on my head and be like, "What's up, Russian Ross? How you doing?"
Okay, do you think most people do that?
I mean, most people should. They shouldn't be scared of other people just for showing up at places.
Yeah, but there's people that, again, they're gonna fall into that kind of base instinct of fight or flight, and especially when it comes to self-preservation. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I mean, if it's me or the other guy, I choose me every time. Every time.
But let's say a person came to your door and you actually thought they were a threat. What would you do? What was the first thing you do?
Call the police. That's what
call the police.
Yeah, I call the cops.
Look, Boogie didn't handle it. It's obvious Boogie didn't handle it the best he possibly could have. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the same time, on the flip side of that,
he probably killed somebody. He fired a shot in a residential area.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious he didn't handle it the best he could have. He should have called the police first.
Mm-hmm.
Get everything.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think if he killed Frank Hassel on his lawn in front of the AC man, I think he would have just wept. Like, why did you make me do this? Why did you make me do this?
Well, he was saying that in the video too. He's like, "Don't make me do this, Frank." And she's like, "Oh my God, Boogie." It's just like, it's like, Boogie, what are you gonna do? Don't make me do this, Frank. It's just like, what?
Bro, I always imagined killing a man. I just never thought this day would come, or some shit like that. Like, I just imagine him just weeping over Frank's dying body. Like, that's how I imagine it.
Why'd you make me do that, Frank? Why?
The AC man is just there, like, oh my God.
Door. Like,
no, because
honestly,
dude,
Frank had a weapon during the situation.
You think he would blame the AC man, or do you think he's like,
Frank's innocent at all? And Frank shouldn't have shown up at his house. I'm saying Boogie shouldn't have opened his door either.
No, okay.
Frank shouldn't have been in his fucking house.
None of the situation. Nobody's right. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's right in that situation. There's nobody that's right in that situation at all.
Yeah,
it's a horrible situation.
Because here's one of the problems. This guy, Boogie has known about him.
Standing in a doorway is a horrible situation. Yelling at each other.
He's known about it for a minute, right? Supposedly, it's been going on for 3 months because Boogie has been harping that this guy could show up to his house. He never once called the fucking cops for knowing for that long, right? And he's been saying, I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for my life. What are you doing about it?
Exactly.
He's making videos to get views because fear sells.
He's going on the internet.
Sympathy sells.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's part of the problem. No, I think you hit the nail right on the head there too. Exactly. Instead of taking the social media, that's the problem. It's just like that's what that kind of behavior perpetuates, is more people doing the same exact thing. Instead of putting something in legal documents, making reports, starting a paper trail, right? You take to social media, you put your little Twitter videos up, or you make your little Instagram post, whatever it is that you want to do, instead of doing what you should do, and that's go to the police. You know, I mean, if this guy's been on you for 3 months, and that's the other thing too, man. Boogie engaged in it. That's where he messed up too, and that's part of why I don't believe that it's necessarily set up. Although, again, there's always a possibility. It's because of how Boogie has acted on live streams and stuff before, where he literally will engage with people. He literally engages with people that troll him, and it's just like, bro, why are you doing that? Who cares? Just have your moderators ban them and move on with your show.
Is he dressed as a cowboy?
Or is that?
Is he dressed as a fucking cowboy with a Tomb Raider shirt? Like, fucking...
No.
What the fuck is that?
That Tomb Raider shirt.
Is that the guy from Overwatch?
Yes,
yeah, that's what it looks like. He's just like a fucking cowboy, like McGrath.
It's the guy from Overwatch.
What's his name?
I forget his name.
Fucking McGrath, is that his name?
Yeah, McGrath, something. McGrath.
Just as a fucking cowboy. We're gonna get a little pistol. Like, fucking.
You gotta do the thing. It's high noon.
Look,
everybody dies.
All jokes aside from more.
McCree, thank you.
McCree, okay. All jokes aside, seriously, look, it's obvious that Boogie is a guy that he's not playing with the full deck, especially not right now. And Boogie's the kind of guy, I don't know if you guys know this, but Boogie's the kind of guy that has actually openly talked about, and it is probably for attention, but it's also, I wouldn't doubt it, you know, given Boogie's track record about openly, you know, offing himself, saying that he doesn't expect to live a full life, that he expects to off himself off at some point. And who knows? Maybe that's what he wants to do before he offs himself. Could you imagine that?
He wants to take a life to take him to... No. Listen.
No, I really can't.
You know?
I'm
saying given what he said before. I could see it, especially if you see some of this. Boogie has said some really dark stuff. That's kind of what also caused his online decline, is some of the stuff that he was openly talking about that was really like, people were like, it was really off-putting for people, because it's like, yo, what the hell's wrong with you? It's like, you got a fan base that loves you. What do you mean you don't want to live a full life? Why don't, you know, you got support, this, that, or the other. That's also part of the reason why a lot of people kind of started, distancing themselves from Boogie, was because of some of the crazy shit that he was saying, you know?
Well,
regarding his own life. Can we get
examples? Because I'm not too familiar with his antics, but I know that.
Well, like I said, there's a video. Really, I forget who it was. There's actually a video. Let me see if I could find it, where somebody really kind of went over the decline of Boogie's online career.
Yeah. Well, another thing is, right, Boogie made it known he had a gun. He's like, come over, fuck around, find out, right? So the guy did, because he thought Boogie was full of shit, right? Now, let's just say this guy really wanted to fucking kill Boogie or fuck him up, right? What if he had a gun on the other side of the door, Boogie opens it up and just, this dude just opens fire on Boogie, or throws acid in his fucking face? Like...
Oh yeah, Boogie's a fucking idiot. I mean, the thing is, again, I will not... The thing I see, my take does not proclive it. Sorry, my take is not stating that Boogie is a smart person, did a smart thing, right? I'm saying like
no, it's like bounty hunter. Like what happened?
I don't know, man. He'll be back. Probably. Who knows?
You better be.
But look, Boogie is an idiot, right? 100%. But if Boogie opens the fucking door, the guy's there acting fucking irate and shit, and Boogie says, I feel threatened, bang, bang, right? He's not going to prison. That's my only take. Do I think that makes Boogie a smart fucking person? No, he is a dumbass. Call the fucking cops. That's exactly what I would say. But he doesn't have to. If he wants to defend himself, I say, like, fuck, dude, it's fucking America. Defend yourself, but, like, follow your state law. He was within his own state's law. I mean, what do you want me to say? I think this Frank guy is unstable and a fucking idiot, and I think he's begging to get a bullet.
I want to smoke weed with the guy. Like
with Boogie or fucking Frank?
Frank, I don't want to smoke. You want
why would you want Frank? Oh, man,
Steve wants to hang out with fucking Frank Hassel and suck off Leafy.
Well, no.
All right, I shared it. Sorry. Go ahead, Aura.
No, you first. Go ahead.
I thought the Gamer from Mars did a pretty good video on it, kind of chronicling Boogie's decline. If you want to check it out there.
Yeah.
I'd seen another video that got a little bit more introspective on all the like details, basically, showing even some of the stuff that Boogie had posted onto Reddit and things like that. I believe Gamer from Mars goes over it a little bit in his video, but there's a guy that did like a deep dive, just kind of showing all kind of the different aspects of Boogie's, online personas, so to speak, and just kind of the decline of his channel overall.
What the fuck is this? Like, what was that? Was he in the vortex? Like,
no. Have you never seen fucking that James Bond game or video, that movie thing?
Mm-hmm.
He stands in the barrel of the gun. It's in the intro to James Bond.
GoldenEye.
See, like, I would
GoldenEye. Thank you.
Yeah, I would get it more if like Hassel started kicking the door and trying to be like, "I'm getting in this bitch. You're dying today." And
how about this?
Huh.
Yeah.
Calm down and hit this blunt.
Yeah.
He got what he wanted. He got what he wanted out of the situation, though. You know what I mean? Which was,
attention.
Getting attention and getting under Boogie's skin. And again, look, he has that. You saw what Keem said. He's like, oh, the stuff doesn't make Frank look bad. It makes Boogie look bad. Honestly, I mean, it makes them both look bad. There's really no defense of Frank, in my opinion, because Frank is, he's pushing buttons. He's pushing that line of edgy content. It's just like, bro, that's, again, you're gonna show up to the wrong house one day, bro.
Well,
you know what I mean?
He looked like a total bitch because then he's like, he found out it was a real gun, and he's like, why are you pointing a gun at me, bro? Like, fucking, so...
He was also laughing when he said that. He's like, why does this guy got a gun?
And then he's trying to make it... Well, that's the bitch shit of it all, too, because after the fact, Frank is sitting there, he's laughing, ha, 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 whatever, then he fires a shot, and then he tries to play the victim. It's like, bro, you rolled up to his house, bro. Don't be a bitch now.
Can we all just appreciate that Toy Bounty Hunter just called Frank Hassel shenanigans bitch shit?
It is. It's
Can we all
bitch shit,
just appreciate
bro.
that?
Bro, it is, man. It's just like you roll up to the dude's house, you go ahead and shoot me, and it's like he fires a warning shot, and
Kill
then
the
he's
fucking
like,
AC man.
He's like,
what
are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's talking to Boogie's roommate. He's like, he's about to kill somebody in front of your eyes. I'm like,
I mean, look, at least, bro, exactly. Look, it would have been, what would have been the most gangster shit ever, bro, if he had actually gotten shot and then still called Boogie a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shoot like a bitch too, Boogie. You shoot like a bitch.
I love that one.
You know what I mean?
Fucking reflection in the car door.
This guy reminds me of
it would still be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Look, it would still be wrong. But at least one could say, damn, man, you know what? Frank, completely wrong, but you gotta admit that was kind of gangster. He got shot by Boogie and he still called Boogie a bitch.
I keep telling you, Boogie is the most unintimidating man with a gun. He's got the Tomb Raider shirt on and shit. Like, oh my god,
okay, Aura?
It's great. It's the greatest shit ever. I love it. I fucking love it. I love everything about it. It's wrong, but I love it.
This one, yeah. I love this one. Okay. I mean, the thing about the Boogie situation is, again, you gave fucking warning. You said you're not welcome here. Stop fucking with the guy. Like, stop fucking with the guy. Because, again, Boogie's a bitch. Boogie's an awful person. But if Boogie had pulled the fucking trigger, you'd be bleeding on his fucking porch.
I just said, look, despite Boogie's, how he's acting and stuff like that, look, you can only push a man so far, right? In all seriousness, you only push a man so far. And truthfully, look, it would be one of those situations, had Boogie shot him, it'd be one of those things where you could make a case for why he did do it and why he didn't. And I would understand the arguments on both sides of that. But, looking at it from the perspective of Boogie, obviously being a person that admittedly has issues, right? Admittedly has issues. And honestly, I mean, you could kind of see it. You could kind of see it with the way he's reacted to certain things. It'd be really hard to be like, Boogie, why'd you do that? You know what I'm saying? it'd be like, well, I mean, again, you know, I'm not saying it would be right, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, look, you know, you can only push a man so far, and this is a guy that's already mentally unhinged. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, there was that person. Frank was that guy. Frank was the guy that finally did it, right? That would be, and that's how I guess Frank would be remembered, as the guy that finally.
Well, Frank is weak for messing with
to do something. Yeah. No, it's weak on Frank's part too. Yeah, to mess with the guy who obviously. Yeah, exactly. To mess with the guy that's that mentally fragile. Exactly. I think that's why I think it's messed up for Frank too. I think Frank's an asshole too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there's no excusing what Frank has done. None of it. None of it is.
They're both terrible people, right? That's the thing. They're both terrible people. You can condemn both people. It's perfectly fine to do that. You don't need to pick a side there.
Yeah.
I pick Frank's side.
Of course you would, yeah.
You would. No, but it's just like, look, I don't know exactly. I don't know what.
Hold on. Steve, let me just ask. Is Frank also pro Leafy? Steve?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about Frank. He just found out about Frank yesterday.
He just knows that he's got to roll a fat one with him.
I'm just saying. It seems like a Steve move to pull.
Let's beat the shit out of Frank after we smoke with him and rob him. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
He don't have any money.
It cut for like a hot minute there. But I don't know. I missed something.
Okay. All right. Well, guys,
I
think it's about time. All right. So it's about time that we did the big thing that we wanted to do tonight, which is say a very special thank you. So long. Farewell. Please continue to make our thumbnails. To Origami.
Why do you say that? Why you have that meme of Boogie?
What? Because Aura likes the meme of Boogie.
The Tupac meme?
Yeah, look at it. Look at that. It's so fucking funny.
It's kind of funny though. It's kind of funny. Very distasteful, very funny also.
Vic has a surprise, and he's been spamming the chat, and also I kind of got a little like goodbye thing. I shared it to you guys. You should see it. It's Pixlexia's idea.
Okay. Let me first play the thing from 224 Vic. Part 4 of our fight. Fuck!
You'll like this one.
Okay.
Yo, my bad guys. I gotta head out. Let me hit you guys up later.
It's Aura's retirement party.
Okay.
I will talk to Aura later. Aura, I will talk to you later.
Have a good night.
Later, John.
Take care.
All right, good night.
Bye.
It's fucking cold outside.
A year's supply of veggie milkshakes.
Is that what you're getting me for my birthday, Carl?
No.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from California, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Superstar.
Guys, we have a big-time tag team match coming up here. A big-time match with big-time stakes, Michael. Neither one of these superstars can afford a loss right now.
I love these intros.
I'd say that he's among the most prideful superstars on the roster today. Well, when you accomplish what he's been able to accomplish, Michael, you have every right to be proud of yourself.
That's right.
I'm Crow and I'm an arrogant ass.
And his partner from New York, weighing in at 203 pounds, the Hero Master.
Here we go. This is the match a lot of these people came to see tonight, and with good reason, Michael. This
I digs that. He's even got my little rings and shit on there. And that's exactly what I would do. Watch this shit. Slide.
And I'd also like to add that this match will go a long way in determining the pecking order here at WWE. Yeah, he's hoping his stock continues to rise. The loss here, though, would certainly crush those hopes.
The best part is if Vic will strike this. That'd be hilarious to me.
WD Aura looks cooler than Crow. He does. He fucking does. Let's see Aura do that.
And their opponents first from New York, weighing in at 200.
The Latino Ninja.
The Ninja.
We're just moments away from this huge tag team match, guys. And I don't think I've ever seen these four superstars more motivated than they appear to be heading into this one, Michael.
I want to see Steve.
Oh, you're going to.
My phone almost died out there.
Steve, you're just in time to see yourself. There you go.
And his partner from Canada, weighing
Hey.
in at 220 pounds, the Chosen One, Steve.
Byron, are you at all surprised by the intensity level inside this arena right now? Not the least bit, Michael. This is the one the WWE Universe has been looking forward to for quite some time.
No, Steve's such a douche. Watch this shit.
Byron, he
Steve looks too
certainly
cool.
seems to be showing more pride of late, wouldn't you say?
Oh, too
Okay,
good.
Michael, but he's got to be
Yo, what the hell is happening? He's got all digitized.
backstage about that pride, possibly.
I agree,
couldn't
though.
help.
He's a total douche.
You know what? Yeah, you see that shit? I was like, he broke the fucking video for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, we're ready to get this one underway. And we're here in Orlando, a breeding ground for many of the WWE's top superstars.
Fuck's
Thanks
sake.
to the Performance Center.
Breeding ground for. And now that one's countered.
Gets him with a counter. Clothesline over the top rope, all the way to the floor. Splash.
Jesus Christ, the
Damn.
stadium shook.
Lightning fast reflexes. Harsh impact.
Oh, and a scoop slam. He's definitely being
Yes,
the
yes,
aggressor
sir,
here.
Renee.
Things are really going his way now.
Desperately trying to get to the corner now.
It's not going to be easy, though.
Of course, that's a unique suplex. Wrist clutch suplex. Perfect. Man,
Oh my
he's looking a
God.
little off balance. The beauty of tag team competition is that he doesn't need to take the entire brunt of the opposition's attack. Though the thought of making a tag certainly appear to be on his mind right now.
Crow, I feel like we're cheaters. Steve, where are you at?
I know.
Needs to make it to the corner here, Corey. Oh, you're absolutely
Steve,
right.
do
There's
something.
no way around it.
He's
Attack
standing
is-
there.
Oh, here we go.
Whose team am I on?
Is this what he needs?
Look, I'm trying to cheat. You saw that? Steve's like, no. Like,
In off the tag.
get him, Steve.
Oh, right to the gut.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
That is a great reversal. Whoa, it's another reversal. Ooh, impressive counter. Smart strategy.
What the fuck was that, Steve? You like slid.
Why? Why did you make it this big?
Steve feels all fucking bad and shit.
Look out here. He's
Damn,
got something
Crow.
cooking. Look out.
Holy shit.
No!
Clothesline. Super kick.
What the fuck are you doing? You're like mopping the stage, Steve.
Uh-oh, no, don't do this. Don't
No!
do this.
Oh my God.
Watch out here.
God damn.
Out of nowhere. Looking to make the tag here. A tag at this point can change the whole complexion of this match, Michael.
God.
Not looking good, guys. Tagged in.
Steve, I'm sorry. See, I feel like we're cheaters. Look. Look at this shit.
Hold on.
Oh my
Oh,
God! You gotta
fuck.
be kidding me! Hurricane run into a power bomb. Uh-oh, we know what's next.
Vic, do something.
Turning point right here. He stops the count for his partner. Connected on that.
Oh my
He may
Jesus Christ.
He might have been waiting on that one. Kick right to the punch. That's how you stop your opponent. Target his torso now. He's been going for his core all night, it seems.
Unfair.
Comes in off the tag. Oh, Corey, he unloaded there. DDT. There's electricity running through this arena right now. Which
Steve is using internet disruption.
Right.
Oh.
big time. Paradise dramatic love midair. What? This display of acrobatics is
God.
from the front of the air, the enziguri. Here it comes. Stay away from the worm. And now looking to get it locked in. This could be.
What the hell even just happened?
Free, but the damage might have already been done, Michael. Ooh. He's one step ahead there. Great technical know-how on display.
Oh my God.
Oh!
This has gotta be it. Powerbomb connects.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Like I did a handstand and flip. What the fuck? All right.
Successful, we may be looking at a whole new match here. He's getting closer, Corey. And
Yeah.
He
No.
anticipated that attack. This could be big.
Fuck's sake.
Here's his window. Will he take advantage? Clearly going for it all with a move like that. Let's look at this again. Incoming. Elbow drop. Lights out. DDT connects. Oh, what a counter. An impressive series of moves. Looks like nobody's budging, Cole. Neck breaker. Matt, ready for takeoff.
God. Oh my God. Crow! Crow!
There's not much room out there. Are you kidding me? Up the apron to the floor. Take a look at this again.
Like a guppy.
If you didn't break your neck, that's fake as shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm no longer allowed to walk, dude. That's $1 million baby shit he just did to me.
Wait a minute. Superplex!
You hurt yourself, man.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Boom, right over here to the enziguri. In up the tag. Ooh, what impact. Gets the tag. And scissors takedown. Very nice. Going for the home run. Oh, face breaker. That didn't look good. No man does that better. Oh, that was close. This match continues. So agile. He makes the tag. That was a game changer right there, Michael.
Do you remember what's that fucking Kung Pao? That movie Kung Pao?
Kung Pao.
And another
my God.
paralyzer.
That like fuck, I forgot about
I knew that was coming.
that like bad over dub comedy. It's like comedy, right?
It's like they're both somehow one step ahead of each other.
Ninja hit.
How impressive is that reversal?
Another paralyzer. That's all I think about. Oh my God.
Straight punch. Jarring. Oh, looks like we're gonna see it. Selena Del Sol. That belongs on a highlight reel. They did it. Wow, what a match.
Look at me. Fuck you, man. Fuck.
Here are your winners.
You lost.
And this match.
No, Steve, you won.
Certainly.
Oh, I won.
Jesus Christ.
What we just saw there was a doctorate class in tag team competition. They just took the game to a whole other level. That's one of those personal.
Well, I for one can't support it.
Huh?
Mr. President.
I said I for one cannot support it because it was clearly fake.
Yeah.
Maybe Aura gets his ass handed to him, but like the two of us together, we would have fucking snapped Steve's neck and shoved his fucking head straight up Vic's ass. So Vic, I'm sorry, man, but that was some fake wrestling shit. It's the type of fucking fake wrestling everybody complains about. Totally made up. Aura's reasons for retiring are his own, but he may or may not have fathered several dozen children in a nation that is not the United States. So he may be dealing with some personal family drama right now, but we do miss him, and we're going to bug him every day to come back to the show.
I can see that.
Yes, every day.
Every fucking day.
Every
day.
Single day.
I believe it.
Okay. Ask Ross. I could be very fucking persistent.
or if I do away with the Aura Sandwich Club.
In fact, like I said, I sent something for the Patreons actually.
You did?
Check our DMs.
In Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Patreon. Can I see that?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Well, I have the image.
Did you read the description I sent you?
No,
what it even is.
No, I'm in the DMs right now. There's no description. It just said,
you're in the wrong DM.
There's no description at all. like it only says as I read the description.
Okay. All right. Well, I will update the Patreon reward members, but let me show them what you made for them.
We can update it too. So I figured we'd do one for Sushi's art, Cat's art, change it like every month, every 2 months, whatever.
Let me just.
I don't know how to log into Patreon.
Thank you, Geeky. I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
This is what Aura made for everybody.
Screensaver for your phone, and if yours does not work, like if you can't use motion, I sent like a regular one too. So Patreon members get an exclusive phone screensaver.
Yep. Okay, I will change. I guess I'll change the Patreon tier rewards for it and send those out through the messages to people. So that'll be a little bonus. And expect that update to come tomorrow. The wedding is Saturday. We will be live streaming. We'll do an announcement on Twitter explaining exactly what time we'll be starting up the stream. But look forward to that. You'll be able to see me and Jasmine get married. 4 days. 4 days. Saturday is so close. And then be married, be with Jasmine, and we'll go on our honeymoon. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So the month of October is Pix's art screensaver. Next month, November, will be Cat's art. And then December could be Sushi's art, unless like there's a combo. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
That's the way I see it anyway.
All right. Well, I don't have anything more to add. Or we'll obviously be back for the Saturday stream. And while I'm in Florida, chilling with everybody, I'll probably bring my laptop down and force them to record videos with me. The naughty kind that we can put on Pornhub.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what?
So what, there's a stream Saturday?
Yes. We're going to live stream the wedding. The wedding.
Yeah, okay.
The wedding will be live streamed. The wedding will be put online, Steven.
I see. Yes.
You are you sure?
The fancy wedding. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. It'll be good.
Thank you, Kat. Appreciate that.
Yippee, she's going to make Crow into a man. You guys are awful. Make sure to sneak Steve across the border for the wedding.
That's on Steve.
I'm trying to get across the border. I know.
I told him don't fuck around. He'll be put into a labor camp.
Labor camp in Florida? I think you'd like that. What do you mean?
All right. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours.
We went longer.
I know. That's why I'm tired. I'm dying. I'm not dying.
I'm dying too.
Oh, thank you.
Aura,
appreciate it, Chris. Huh?
Will you be coming back onto the channel anytime?
If things allow me to, then yeah, sure. I'll probably be here and there.
See, this is why we can't stop streaming now, because we got to keep them here.
We have to keep it going just in case that one day Aura decides to return to us. Everybody misses you already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So should we watch anime? On stream.
Hey, guys. Anime is what got our other stream clipped. Blame.
Don't
anime.
You think the election is gonna get clipped?
Maybe.
The debate. Well, probably.
Maybe.
I mean, normally if it gets you clipped, they'll clip it as you're doing it.
Okay. They didn't with Ghost Stories, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it bitches.
I'll still be around and chat and stuff, you know?
Okay.
Look at Steve's face. It's not the same.
Let's read out the Patreon members.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could read Harry Potter fan fiction.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do more of that on next Tuesday. Okay, don't worry about it, Steve. Chapter 11 next Tuesday.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, not next Tuesday. Well, not next Tuesday, but next Tuesday. I'll still be on the honeymoon and won't be able to do streams for a little bit. See, actually, let's just go over the schedule. So we get back on the 11th of October, and we'll go back to doing streams the following Monday. So Monday, October 12th is when streams will resume after the final stream Saturday, which is the wedding. Origami will still be around 100%. He's just taking a step back from doing the live streams because they're long and they're exhausting, and I bug the shit out of him every single time we're doing one. So I know it's my fault. I know I'm a terrible friend. Also, my eyes just itchy. Anyways, guys,
He's lying.
That's it. That's it for the stream. Let me just say before I read off the Patreon names, Aura, is there anything you want to say to all your fans?
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for putting up with me, and thanks for putting up with the co-host up there. You know where he is. But hopefully we were able to.
What you're talking about.
Hopefully we were able to entertain you. Hopefully Crow can do that in my absence. Right, Crow?
Crow shall entertain all.
All right, good. Just keep that in mind. If he doesn't, people know where to find me. So you have to fucking get on your ass again. Y'all take care.
Crow does not fear you, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, try it.
Please don't leave.
So what you're saying is, if I fuck up, you'll have to come back.
Not necessarily. I'll just text you some aggravating message.
I'm gonna delete all of our videos.
I'll never come back. I'll never speak to you again. Dude, I'll never speak to you again, dude. I'm so fucking furious with you.
Me and Crow could fuck up a stream pretty good. Just talk about murdering people and
talk about Boogie. Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean murdering people? Jeez. Okay, we're done. Crow takes over with 10 out of 10 politics. Come back as soon as possible. You know how Crow gets without you keeping him in line. That's true. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much to Alexa, Luna, Geeky Pixie, Steve DeLive, Connor McDonald, Jess, Kat Thomas, Julian Sand, Dagger, Alley, Mr. Holmesley, Warren Corruption, Katie, Imbro, Margot Inez, Lauren S., Ravenous Hound, Chris Anonymous, Jonathan Murillo, Maria, Devil Hunter Nero, and one of the original Patreon members, Origami. Thank you so much for everything everyone has done to support the channel. Or thank you so much for everything you've done to support the channel. Mm-hmm. You know I'm never going to stop bothering you for shit, especially the emotional support you provide. Yeah, it's been. Also, thank you from the bottom of my heart for leaving a filthy fucking Canadian in my care. Ugh. I know that I have said some terrible things to you, sir, but I have never once made you babysit a Canadian.
Crow.
I have never.
Goes on rant
you're on timeout, sir. I have never once done anything to you that would make you think that it's okay to just drop some random Canadian in my lap and just walk away like I'm some fucking hussy. He needs a father, and I'm not capable of being one. Or you have to be there for your child.
Steve is a great replacement.
Play along, man.
He's a great replacement, and he's one of the few that can put up with you.
He is. Not too many people can.
Mm-hmm.
Not for an extended period of time.
I don't know why.
10, 15 minutes tops.
You don't know why, Steve. Look, you just kicked your ass off from the screen.
Well, yeah, but he's going to do that. I mean, I
don't know. Oh, man. I always bring it back. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Right, Steven?
He's codependent, just like I am. So, you know.
Oh, I'm fucking codependent? Bye, bitch! All right, I'm ending this stream. It's all Crow 24/7. My channel now. Goodbye. Can't do shit to me now. What?
End it with that intro that you never use.
Dude, I was.
You were gonna click the off button. I know you were. I was like, just end it with the intro that I made you that you never use.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it,
mm-hmm.
and then I realized something.
See?
You're not the boss of me now! I control the stream! I do what I want! It's a Crow party! Fuck!